Hey Travis,
What?
I always thought of like if I were to make a movie, I would make some sort of like heist slash caper film set at a convention setting.
Okay.
Yeah, it would basically just be the pun, so I could call it convention.
Really? That's all you had?
That's you think of a better one, Justin? Fine.
Give me between the musical interlude. I'll probably figure something out.
I'll give you the music.
I mean, like, Ocean's Con 11 would be better than that, honestly. And that's terrible.
That's pretty bad.
Maybe it would be there's a criminal inside the he's trying to get his testimony given, and it's a conviction. So.
I like conviction. I'm not gonna lie. I was ready to make fun of whatever Justin suggested, but I kind of like conviction. But anyway, this is the UGO podcast. Welcome back. Hope you guys didn't just turn in and were like, oh, this pun shit again.
I think if they're still around, they're probably used to the puns by now.
I think they are. Shout out to Dawn, or as you guys might know her better, Amethyst Dawn. I met with her at the convention, and she was saying how she's listening, and I was like, really? It's like, yeah, and I think it came up to mention that she made a pun. I'm like, makes sense, makes sense if she listens to us.
Yes.
But yeah, if you're listening to us, we just came back from Kitsune Kon this previous weekend, which was a shit ton of fun.
It was.
Hopefully we got some new listeners tuning in from us with that, who caught us
from all the people we were threatening,
from all the people who interviewed with us to anyone who caught any of our panels,
and the people that we wouldn't let out of the trivia contest until they agreed to listen to us.
Yeah, and who's talking about wrongfully holding convention attendees? Why, it's me, Nick the Merc with a mic, and my fellow unapologist and partner in crime,
Travis.
And we have brought on again, Justin.
Hello, everybody.
Our guest unapologist, or just
our correspondent.
Yeah, our news correspondent unapologist. Which we brought him to talk about a little bit about the news and the trailers for this week. Since we're kind of tired from the convention, we thought we need some backup.
And I have lots to talk about, but we'll try to keep it condensed into a short time frame.
Yeah, because we got some cool interviews and stuff to get to. We got an interview on here with Derek Stephen Prince, the voice of Uryu from Bleach and Shino from Naruto, which is pretty cool. We got some repeat offenders from the Artist Alley. We got some audio from our panels, or at least from my panels, because I guess we should get into it and how our convention was, because actually, I was cocky. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, okay, we should mention this first. Kitsune Kon in the previous year, we've mentioned a couple times that I think I've mentioned a couple times just from organizing, from a standpoint, the emails and being scheduled for multiple panels that I wasn't running.
Yeah.
Like, this year, they were, I don't know who, they switched it up or who was running that, but they were on point. Everything was set up. There was no delays for our panels.
We weren't even scheduled during the cosplay contest.
The schedule was all better. The tech people were all lickety-split on the job, really very helpful. This con ran very smooth. I was very impressed from just the kind of behind-the-scenes aspect. As far as the con goes itself, it's always a fun time. Always a good time there. And we managed to have fun without bringing guns in, so that's cool. Did you hear about this? Apparently, Kitsune Kon was a big deal that they had to ban this guy, this YouTuber, from coming because he kept mentioning that he wouldn't come unless he was bringing his gun, conceal and carry. And for those of you who have never been to a convention before, that's a no-no. They heavily regulate your pretend guns. they're not very cool with actual guns.
Oh yeah, you should hear like all the things you have to go through in some conventions to bring a bow with, because a bow is a weapon no matter what, if it's fake or not.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, most of the time I think you can get around that without having a string on it. But there's a bunch of different rules. All the conventions I've ever been to for 2 years have done this, and this guy is suddenly all up in arms for Kitsune Kon. Like, I can't believe they wouldn't let me have my gun in there. And he launched a whole YouTube thing about it on his channel. I'm not going to mention him by name because, well, one, I don't remember it, and two, I don't want to send this guy any unnecessary traffic that he's he's already getting some just from the controversy. True,
but Kitsune Kon probably got some info too. I mean, again, no publicity is bad publicity.
Well, he made a second video as well after the initial video of just like, oh, well, you know what? I'm kind of over it. It's not like I really care. I didn't want to go to Kitsune Kon to begin with. I mean, I went to it a time 5 years ago, and it wasn't run very well. So I'm not. I don't really like. I mean, for me, it was just kind of like I didn't want to fuck that bitch anyway. You know, like. But and I'm like, and then he says, you know, I don't really care. And I'm over it, except for suing people. That's not what I'm not over. So I'm suing the convention, and I'm like, oh. Suing people is a thing that people do about stuff that they totally don't care about. He's like, yeah, I don't care. And then I'm like, how long is this video? 27 minutes and 35 seconds.
Half an hour of I don't care.
Yeah. Who talks about something for a half hour and doesn't care about it? I talk about shit that I don't care, that I do care about for only 5 to 10 minutes because I don't have time. Like, a half hour. I'm thinking that you have put time and effort into talking about this. You care. And yeah, I think his main thing was that he's had threats before from his channel. Apparently he's got a abrasive sense of humor is what he calls himself.
So he's an asshole.
He's had threats upon his life, so he was like, hey, I just want to be able to, you know, if someone comes up in there with a knife or a gun or tries to punch me, it's not like, I wasn't even threatening to shoot them, I just want to know, like, hey, I have a gun, you know.
Yeah, but again, that's the whole issue, is that you would never be able to tell if it was a fake gun or not in that situation.
Yeah.
So if you're that paranoid, then there's a good chance you were going to end up shooting someone who was innocent in the first place.
No, I'm sorry. This whole gun as a deterrent thing...
Not working.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that. Statistically, it's shown that it doesn't not work like that. The only thing that prevents people from getting shot is less guns.
Don't say that we're an American podcast, and like you're not allowed to say that.
Yeah, I know, and I know that's going to get me in trouble with anyone here, but listen to me. Let's just keep it to a convention setting, okay? I think we can, if we specifics down, maybe we can agree upon it, even though the stats kind of bear this out for any scenario. But, hey, the Liberatio segment, what?
It always back. Comes back.
Oh, it's always hiding in the background. But, yeah, like Travis was saying, there's a lot of fake weapons around that do indeed, you know, look like guns. They've ever since we've had that guy who brought real guns to pretend to be the Punisher so that the cops could take him out in, what was it?
That Chicago? Guy who wanted to kill the Power Ranger or whatever?
Yes, he wanted to kill Jason David Frank. Thank you, Justin. And we had that Ariana Grande concert bombing. Events have been really stricter on their security, and that includes conventions, anime and comic book conventions alike. I think we're gonna start to see metal detectors. I think we're gonna start to see even more heavy security.
Could be.
And the fact that this guy just does not know that is a thing makes me think that either he hasn't been to a convention in like 5 years,
possibly,
or he just has a hair across his ass about Kitsune Kon in particular.
Also possible.
And yeah, if you need to bring a gun to a convention, a place to feel safe, I think you're a pussy. But that's just me. I think that makes you a little bit of a bitch because everyone was there, had a grand old time, and felt really safe, and we didn't have guns. So I don't know what was wrong with you. Maybe you should stop being such a little bitch and be a little more brave. You got to go out into the world, and if you're gonna take an ass whooping, maybe take an ass whooping, and just accept that because that's what it was really. He's like, he didn't want to get punched, and he's like, no, I don't want anyone to assault me or whatever.
He wanted to use a gun to prevent from being punched.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he thought because in his mind, guns are the biggest deterrent against physical harm.
Wow.
Hey, don't listen. Hey, I'm just repeating what the guy said, man. And maybe you should just be nicer then if you're worried about people threatening your life, because it sounds like maybe you're kind of a dick.
I mean, to be fair, people do get death threats for not being dickish reasons.
Indeed, but I listened to his video. I'm pretty sure that guy's a dick. Anyway, yeah, we've been talking about this way longer than I think is necessary. So, yeah, just again, thanks to everyone that interviewed with us. It was fantastic meeting you guys all again. I wanted to tell a quick story about a lovely lady that I met there, because it actually turns into another story about another guy being a dick.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll get to it. So, I did the con hookup thing over this past weekend, and it was fun. I met a nice lady. We'll keep it vague to keep identities a secret. I wouldn't even have mentioned it if this second part of the story didn't happen, because I really want to talk about it because it pisses me off. But so through a friend of a friend from previous cons, I met up with this girl. I immediately thought, I was like, oh, who's this cutie? And I noticed the guy next to her, and I'm like, ah, shit, boyfriend. And I introduced myself, kind of like, we chatted for a little bit, and then I saw her later. Once I saw her later, I was like, oh, hey, where's your guy friend? And he's like, oh, him? Turns out that kid was 16 years old. And I was like, and I was like, okay, look, guys, I don't know if he had Benjamin Button disease or whatever. That kid looked 35, all right? But yeah, and I'm like, oh, 16? Well, like, that's rough. So you're not into that? It's like, no, I'm not. I do not date anyone younger than me anymore.
Anymore.
By the way, how old are you? And I'm like, I went 47.
Just to play it safe.
Yeah, I figured, okay, I wanted to give myself some wiggle room, alright?
Wiggle room.
I said, like, I take care of myself, I look a lot younger than I am. But yeah, we went out to eat. We immediately hit it off. She was very funny, very outgoing. We tried to out-awkward each other with sexual humor amongst the group of people we were with. And Travis knows that if you're with me, that's not a game of chicken you wanted to get into.
It's very unpleasant.
Oh yeah, that is a game where no one wins but the two people playing. But yeah, for those of you nerds out there who think that, like, maybe this this whole watching cartoons and stuff, like, won't pay off for you later, I have a very specific scenario where it did. Because I think I know what sealed the deal, Travis. And it was the moment we were talking about the first animes we were ever introduced to, and I was asking people, like, hey, what was your first anime? Like, mine was, like, Inuyasha on, like, Adult Swim. Someone said, like, oh, well, it was the, the first Pokemon, or then Digimon. And then the girl that was sitting across from me, the girl that I was into, she was like, oh, God, please don't hate me for this. Please don't let this lower your opinion of me. But it was Sailor Moon. And I was like,
lower your opinion.
No, but check it, Travis. Like, I hit her back with this. I was like, hey, as long as you call me Tuxedo Mask, I can forgive you. The look on her face. I suddenly became softly backlit, and Dreamweaver was playing behind me. I've never had that happen to me before. That was very interesting. She went across to one of her friends across the table, leaned over and was like, dibs.
Impressive.
Yeah. And I leaned over to the other friend because I didn't want her to be felt left out for the sexual awkwardness, and I was like, I think I heard her get wet. And then she went over and she was like, he's not wrong. Sploosh.
I am
So
I guess I'm glad I'm only hearing this secondhand, to be honest.
well, Travis might have been hearing some of it firsthand with how we were not very quiet because I was a little drunk on sake when we came back in.
All I remember is waking up for a brief moment, and I just thought to myself, I hope I don't wake up to the shower being on again.
But no, it's still, yeah, we had a lovely time. And so the next day, we were sitting around doing some con stuff, and while we were sitting together, I had to do some editing. So I was a little distracted. We were sitting in the lobby. She was messing around on her phone. I was editing. This guy comes up. He was cosplaying as Fenris with like this big hammer. I could be confused. It could have been something else. But anyway, he goes to the girl, and he says this line word for word. I'm sorry. I just had to stop for a second and tell you, you're the most beautiful woman you are the most beautiful woman I have ever seen. And she was like, oh, well, thank you. And I'm like, okay. Yeah. I look up, we get the connect eyes thing, and I'm like, hey, that's nice. Let's move it along. And I give that one to him because I basically did the same thing with the other kid. I was like, so for me, it would have been hypocritical to go like, hey, you're trying to take what I've rightfully snagged from somebody else.
Maybe he just thought you were 16.
It could have been. I have a young face. That 16-year-old started to text her later. Texted her poetry.
Oh wow.
Oh man, if I wasn't in before, she was like, oh god, no. It was really bad. Anyway, back to the guy. He walks away, and so we have a joke about it, like, hey, that was pretty nice, huh? Like you were just attracting guys like flies, like they're just fly like flies on shit, and so she got a kick out of that. I do more con stuff throughout the day, do some panels. We hook back up later that night. We see the same guy again in a crowd in front of us, and she actually, she's like, "Oh, hey, and fancy meeting you again." And he goes, "I'm sorry, who are you?" Yeah.
Nice.
And she was like, "Oh, well, we met earlier, and you mentioned how you thought I was pretty." And he gives this line. It's like, I tell a lot of women that they're pretty. So
wow,
this makes me a little angry, and by a little angry, I mean very pissed off. And it's not the fact that he thought she played it down and was like, you mentioned how I was pretty.
When he said
his exact words were, "You're the most beautiful woman I have ever seen."
Maybe he has very short-term memory loss.
Ooh, and that's when I laid into him on that. And so when he mentions the line, I call a lot of girls pretty, I was like, oh, well, that makes it a lot less douchey. I understand. And he looked at me like he was legitimately confused. He's like, douchey? And I was like, oh, yeah, no. I mean, I thought you were a douche at first, but if you tell that to every woman you meet, you're just being equally offensive. And he's like, he looks up like he wants to say something, and he just kind of walks away. Like, he just walks away, and then I couldn't leave it at that. So I yelled after him a bunch of like, no, wait, no, please, I want to talk to you some more. If you leave too long, your object permanence will kick in, and you won't be able to remember my face. Wait! Travis?
Yeah.
Was I the dick in that scenario?
Well, I mean, you're usually a dick.
But... I know, but was I the dick in that specific scenario of when... I don't understand how he was confused, because...
I guess, I won't say you weren't a dick, but I will not say that you were in the wrong, either.
Look, if you say the words, I call a lot of girls pretty, that's why I can't remember you, I feel like you're the dick in the scenario.
It's pretty dickish.
I feel like you're the villain, and he just didn't get it. Like, he thought, like, oh, well, why would you call me out on that? I'm like, because it's a dick thing to do. And, look, she let it run off her back, because she was cool, she's a tough chick. If a girl came up to me and mentioned that I was the most beautiful person she ever saw, and then later didn't remember that, and just said, like, oh, I say that to a lot of guys, I would be kind of hurt. That would hurt my feelings just a tad. Yeah, so I thought that was not very nice of him. It pissed me off for the rest of the night, basically. And for those of you listening at home, is like, oh, Nick, you were only mad because you were trying to hit that. Well, to you, I say, true, but I don't see how that has anything to do with it. I feel like my point still stands. I don't know, Justin, was I the dick in that scenario?
No, I think that's a pretty douchey move that he did from what you're explaining. So, I think you're within your right.
I was within my rights to act like a douche as well in return. Okay, that's all I needed to hear.
That's what you did. You counter-douched him.
I counter-douched, yeah. God, that sounds gross.
It does.
But yeah, just a couple quick other things to mention about the con. We interviewed with Steven, or Stefan, no, I think it was Steven of Rain Arc Rhapsody. The booth, and it was like our third time interviewing with him. Well, like actually fifth time if you count the 2 times it didn't record. But anyway, I've been talking with that guy a lot throughout the last couple conventions throughout the last year, basically. And it has been he has been very nice. He actually gifted us that Goliath print that I brought home.
Okay,
that was a gift from him.
Cool,
free of charge. It was really cool. You can go see it on our Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and stuff now. And check it out. It's a really cool Goliath print from one of my favorite TV shows ever, Gargoyles. And yeah, as far as the convention as well, look, you guys were. I had so many people stop me and say like, "I loved your panel. You were very funny." Or even sometimes, in Amethyst Dawn's case, I still listen to the podcast, and just so many compliments, and our panel turnout was the best it's ever been.
That trivia contest was crazy. The
trivia contest had like 50 people in it. It was nuts. We had that room filled to the brim. And the fact that I kept getting stopped because I was the girl I was with, we were walking down the hallway, we were trying to go places, and I kept getting stopped from either people I've known from previous conventions or people just stopped me to mention that they thought my panel was really good. And she turned to me at one point, it was just like, it feels like I'm walking around with a minor celebrity, like with how you just keep getting stopped. And I'm like, well, no, I do a podcast on the internet. I'm kind of a big deal. But yeah, not only you guys super supportive, just great con attendees, just great energy, but you also help get me laid. That is the most important thing. That is fantastic. It actually, but all kidding aside, it's actually really inspired me because every time I do a convention and I do this stuff, I get inspired to do more. And at this point, I won't go into the specifics, but I've made a couple emails, I've done a couple calls, and I'm going to see what I can do about making this my actual job.
Really?
Yeah. I'm gonna see what we can do to actually turn a profit at this whole convention running, like convention podcast thing.
Okay.
Oh, I thought getting laid at conventions was going to be your job.
That would be an amazing one. Where can we sign up for that one?
Hey, if that is a business opportunity, I will not say no to it.
What would you call a convention gigolo?
A convention gigolo. Deuce Bigalow, Con Gigolo. Anyway, man, I would not watch that movie. That's awful. It's awful. But yeah, I'm thinking of if we can somehow work our way in, get a vendor booth, maybe sell some merch, do some other tricky shit that I'm thinking about.
Okay.
I've made some contacts in regards of artwork for merchandise and that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. So it's all very early stages right now, but I feel good enough and I feel committed enough that some of these ideas have been kicking around in the back of my mind for a while. I just needed to know that like this was going to be a thing that we were going to do consistently. Now that we've done it for like 2 years, and I feel like I'm getting just better at it every time, and I feel like the response every time we go someplace is just getting better and bigger. I want to try my hand at it. I actually do. I want to give it the good old college try just to see if we can do it.
Okay. Because
every time I've tried something else that I thought like, well, I'm not sure if I can do this, but I want to try it. It's more or less worked out.
Yeah.
So I want to try this.
We've kind of stumbled into a lot of things that have just magically worked for us.
Yeah, so I'm gonna see if I can't keep that momentum going. So very exciting on our end. But with that, Travis, do you have any stories from the con that you want to mention?
No, I had a kind of similar thing as I was walking around the vendor booths, and like as soon as I walked in, like there's the other UGO guy. I'm like, oh god, what? Oh, hi, people we know. And just walking along just doing a run around the convention room. I saw people that I've met multiple times, so it's just kind of cool that we recognize each other now. We have something to talk about. And we just, see what's new since we saw each other. Some people 2 weeks ago, and some people a couple months.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I had to work that weekend. I got called in, so I actually only was able to make it Saturday, but...
Yeah, I had to run almost, like, out of the 4 panels we ran, had to run 3 of them by myself.
Yeah.
And that was very rough. I think I pulled it off pretty well, considering how much positive feedback we got. I thought, it was, it went surprisingly well.
Secretly, I just did to make sure you still appreciated me.
Yeah, I did. By the time that 3rd panel came around, I was just like, Jesus, this is super fucking hard.
It's called job security, people.
Job security. Yeah, you got to make sure that I appreciate you, so that I can get you that big old salary I give you.
Yep. I want a raise now.
You know what? You get 100% raise for what you're making right now.
Wait a fucking...
There, now he gets it, because I don't pay him shit.
Ugh.
But yeah, very exciting news on our end. And again, man, what a great convention. I love our hometown conventions. Just super fun. Also, if you are listening to this and you're an art vendor or an attendee that needs a room for DaishoCon, we actually have enough interest for one of our rooms for one of our things in DaishoCon that we're opening up for one of those bigger rooms, if not just one of those cottages on the water. Well, we have right now it's sitting at possibly 9 people that we might be going with already. So if we want to push that up to 12 people, we can get one of the bigger rooms, and the more people we get, the more we split it, and the cheaper it is for everybody. If you're interested, if we get enough people, we might be able to split that to where it will only be about $80 to $90 a person for all 3 nights.
Wow, that's pretty good.
But that's if we get a crazy we'd have to get 12 people. And then maybe an extra, we can get a couple people on the sleeper couches too. But that's, if you are interested in that, just email me or Facebook me, and we will be interested in that, because if we get a couple more, it'd be pretty cool. But with that, Justin, how have you been?
Sorry, back to me. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, sorry. I guess you had to be there for it to be super exciting.
No, I know. I was just teasing, but it sounds cool. I mean, I wish I could go to more cons. I've only been to, I think only one convention. Do you guys know about the Salt Lake Comic Con?
I do. I really wish I could do more conventions that are, that I could fly more.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Hey, if this ever pans out to a job that you can do not internationally, interstate, I guess. Let me know. I have people who live in Utah that maybe you can stay with. You can always come and cover the Salt Lake Convention. It's a huge deal down there. So,
well, if you know people that I could possibly room with at Utah, cut down on hotel costs, and I just have to pay travel, I think I could work that. Especially if we register as the business and I can write that off on taxes.
Dude, if you do that, invite me. I will totally come and give you the tour. I will show you everything with Salt Lake. Oh, that would be so awesome. Sorry.
Maybe the next year.
Yeah, okay, they do it biannually technically. So there's a fall convention they do, and then there's a spring convention in March they do. So.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah. And they're attracting a lot of big names down there. I think they just announced a couple of Marvel cameos that are going to be coming down there, and I think 2 years ago they had Stan Lee come down, which is really cool.
Wow.
Yeah, and
wow, goddamn.
And actually, one of my favorites. So you know the guys who do the Animaniac voices.
Oh, do we?
Oh, yeah.
A little bit.
Fucking Rob Paulson and Jess Harnell.
Yeah, so I got to meet Jess Harnell at Salt Lake City, and Jess Harnell, for one, he's the funniest, weirdest dude in the world. Just talk to him. He's just he's just so much fun. But
he's a guy that definitely brought enough coke for the party, but ended up smoking it all himself.
Pretty much. But he always makes a big deal whenever he comes down, and he would just talk to the audience, just dude, I always tell my friends, I always tell all the other voice actors and stuff, you want to party? Go to Salt Lake City. The Mormons know how to party down there. So.
The Mormons know how to party!
But
that's awesome.
In all seriousness, he really loves coming down because, people are, Mormons don't drink, we don't do drugs or anything. The most we can do is nerd out and talk about our favorite people, so they love it.
I love the Animax guy. Jess Harnell would be a great person for me to meet. I would love to get an interview with him as well.
Oh, hey, if you come to New York, Salt Lake, he usually comes like almost every year. So
yeah, sometimes they even do that voice actor script reads there, which are like my favorite thing ever.
That was the best. We sat there. They did the opening scenes of Force Awakens. It was Jess Harnell, Grey DeLisle.
I've seen that one.
I was there.
You were there?
I was there. I filmed some segments of it. So
very cool.
Oh, it's hilarious. Like actually being there for it is hilarious. Especially even the part where what's his name? Bill Farmer. He was trying to do his Donald Trump impersonation, but he forgot which character he was reading for, so he kept stepping up other people's lines in his Donald Trump voice. And like, Bill, wait, hold on. You're this guy. Oh, right. It was great. But no, that
seems fitting.
Hearing you guys talk about that just brought back good convention memories. So one of these days I'll head back to some convention, either that Salt Lake Comic Con or something else. But otherwise, everything's going well. I hosted a review session for an exam because I'm a teaching assistant for the critical theory in film and television class. And I tried to unpack some dense media theory stuff in like an hour and a half. And there just came a point where both the students and I were like, look, our heads are going to explode if we keep talking about this stuff. We need to take a break. Because that's the thing that they don't tell you about academia stuff. Because academia, we like to analyze a lot of stuff. We like to go into like theories built around concepts of language and psychology and that stuff. What you don't know is that there's some stuff in there that goes into nitty gritty of like, what is communication? What is the signifier and the signified? What are the concepts of genre's evolution over the course of history and the relation to the human language? I cannot even begin to explain to you how intensely intimidating it is. So, I don't blame my students for like, okay, they're going to spend all weekend studying for this test, and they better.
No, that sounds really good. I love that whole analysis thing. But yeah, I love film, so. I should mention before we get into the news, I want to do because we had some lovely people come to our panels and actually write us some reviews in the panels. Mm-hmm. So as always, I want to mention. We should actually mention Tanner Hack Designs.
Wow, we're getting to this part now?
Designed our logo, the UGO logo. Isabella the Derpy Dragon was designed for us by the lovely Kelly Main, who you might see a little more merch from now, in the works right now. But yeah, did some great work for us. If you need some commission work done, check out her site. And yeah, if you want to support the podcast, you can give us a 5-star review, and if you give us a 5-star review, we will read whatever goes in that review box on the air, word for word, like I am going to do right now.
Woo! Dun, dun, dun.
Because we have 3 new ones.
Woo!
Yes. So this one, they were all on our Saturday of the convention. I think most of them were in our trivia contest, but some of these could be from another thing. I think Celebrity Impressions might have gotten one. Anyway, this one is from Mondo Man 2463651960.
Oh, I was just thought you were going to say Mondo Man Randy Savage. That would have been better.
Oh yeah, taken.
Apparently, it was taken. It's titled and the review states belly button lint smells musty.
Oh, geez.
Lovely.
And that's it. That's all of it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I have not smelled my belly button lint lately, so I'll have to test that. But
well, what's wrong with you?
Second one we have is from Lady Rainacorn. Parentheses, IDK. And it's titled, Cured My Cancer.
I remember this one.
5 stars. I listened once and felt my tongue swell a little. Wasn't sure what that meant, so I looked it up. Apparently, I no longer have colon cancer. 5 stars. So, I believe we are as accredited as one of those late-night infomercials now. I believe we can credit ourselves as a cure for cancer.
Which is technically illegal.
But wait, there's more.
But wait, it gets even crazier because this one is from My Name GIF, and it's titled "Zeus Told Me to."
Oh boy!
And this one goes 5 stars. 5 things make me as moist as a good podcast, and boy howdy does the geekiness that this podcast exudes really keeps my windmill turning. Sometimes I wear a dress at night. I'm seeing a show at Kitsune Kon with these fine lads, and golly gee, my lantern is lit. My dad tells me I eat too much, and it makes me cry. If you're looking for a jolly good time, come give these fine lads and lassies a listen, because they'll certainly have your ears perked and your taxes low. There is no escaping the cold grasp of death. They make all feel welcome and are jolly good way to pass the time on the way to work or any time really. And I'm not sure what else I can say about them. If you are a loved one have been diagnosed with mesothelioma, you may be entitled to financial compensation.
All right.
Thank you? Question mark.
That was all over the place.
It's what you asked for.
It was. So that is. I asked for the weird reviews, and that was fucking weird.
We cure cancer. We have something with megalomoma, whatever it was called.
Mesothelioma. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of this is from the trivia contest. I think the taxes low thing was from the group Reaganomics. The team called Reaganomics. I think some of this is also like, I don't know what the windmill thing was, right? My dad tells me I eat too much and it makes me cry. That just sounds like a personal thing. Like
they just want to get out there.
But yeah,
I think I can relate
thank you
to that, personally.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, thank you guys so much for your weird fucking reviews. Really helpful. Really like them.
I've learned so much. I know how to improve myself now as a podcaster because of these reviews.
Right?
The feedback we get from the reviews is why our podcast is this level of quality.
That's exactly the reason it is.
Oh, let's get into the news.
It's like reading fanfiction reviews. Jeez.
What we should ask for next time is fanfiction.
Ooh, a fanfiction 5-star review? Ship me and Travis.
No, don't do that.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. Okay,
yes.
here's the thing. They need to write a fanfiction on Nick's next convention hookup. You know, just
Yes.
That would be awesome.
Who am I going to hook up with, and what are they going to be cosplayed as?
Ooh, there we go.
And what am I cosplayed as? Let's get weird on it.
Weirder.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We're
Dirty.
going to get into the news, and I'm going to leave it up to my buddy Justin here to hit some of the high points of the news from this past week. Our correspondent. Justin, what was big this last week that happened?
So are we starting with the trailers? Do you want me to just go into the actual news stories themselves?
Let's go into the news stories themselves. We'll leave the trailers to a little bit.
All right. Well, I mean, probably it's not the biggest news because Comic-Con is just starting right now as of recording, so we're going to save that for next week. But in terms of the news that happened before, which this week was insane. There was so much happening in the news right now. But nothing was bigger than the announcement of the new Doctor Who. Mm-hmm. And now everyone... Oh, sorry.
Who's he going to be?
Well,
You didn't hear?
Turns out to be a she. Because
what?
The announcement is that since I forget the guy's name.
That's funny, Justin. Like a woman could be a doctor of any kind.
Right. I know, it's so far-fetched. But so it's Jodie Whittaker, who the new showrunner, Chris Chibnall, I think his name is, he was the guy in charge of Broadchurch, and she was one of the main supporting characters in that. So, he's called in favors with his friends, like everybody.
Yeah, right. Now, how many doctors did it take to get a female one?
8?
This is number
9?
I think this is 13.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Maybe 14 if you take in a certain amount. I don't know. The doctor count gets a little weird to me.
Yeah, do you count the war doctor?
I think you're supposed to, but maybe not. I don't know. Anyway,
we're not Whovians.
No. But even that fact, maybe if we were Whovians, I would care about this, but I'd like to feel that I wouldn't. Because anyone who's up in arms of just how they're like there's already a bunch of females on the show. Understand why the doctor's got to be female too. Look, you've had at least 12 fucking straight white male doctors. Just let someone else have a turn. Jesus,
sure.
We can. If it doesn't work out, we can go back to the white guy. but it doesn't hurt to take a vacation every once in a while.
Well, because there's also the people who are like, oh, we got all these young doctors. My doctors are better when they're old and stuffy. And so we gave him Peter Capaldi, and people were mixed on that one. So sometimes it's okay to experiment a little bit, you know?
Sometimes people don't know what they want.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think sometimes. I think most times people don't know what they want. And then when they get it, they're like, but this is what I asked for. It's like, well, you didn't ask for anything in the first place, so what am I supposed to get you?
I think I can agree with that. Yeah, so for me, I think that's pretty cool. I'm not sure if it's going to make me actually start watching Doctor Who.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care either way. I'm still not watching it.
No, it's just got the most traffic this week, I think. That's the biggest deal.
No, easily.
Yeah. What else was getting traffic, though, this week, Justin?
Well, in terms of casting, and I'm not sure there's so much controversy on this. There's just confusion. So, you know that Aladdin remake that they're doing?
Yeah, that's fun.
Yep. So they've been talking a long time, but like, we're having a really hard time finding actors who can sing and dance, who are, Middle Eastern or Indian or whatever kind of thing. It's like, you mean outside of people in Bollywood, which is literally everybody in Bollywood? But I think...
Like, throw a dart.
I think the translation there was, we want people who are not foreigners, because, and that's the sad thing. They want people with some kind of name recognition. But they just announced the 3 actors who are going to headline the new Aladdin movie. And Aladdin himself is actually a newcomer. It's a guy named Mina Masad. So this is probably going to be, I think, his debut if he hasn't done any small work. And, of course, he is properly, of that ethnicity. So there we go. The person playing Jasmine is Naomi Scott, who you may know better as Kimberly from the Power Rangers, the reboot. Mm-hmm. And before people complain, which I've seen people complain on social media, she is half Indian. She's not a white girl who they're trying to disguise as an Indian woman. She is actually an Indian woman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And that was the big controversy.
Still not the one I have a problem with.
Yeah, I know. And then the big one that may or may not be a problem with people, because there's no right way to replace Robin Williams, because, he made that character. The whole reason Genie works is because of Robin Williams. But they're going to replace him anyways, and the guy taking the role is Will Smith.
Well, to your point that, maybe no one would have been the right decision to replace him. But I feel like that doesn't make Will Smith not the wrong decision.
Yeah, I get why they're trying to do it, because the whole, Will Smith's cool and hip kind of thing, even though he's really... I mean, I love Will Smith, but he's not really that hip anymore to play a character like that. But, no. I don't know, maybe he's friends with the director, or maybe he's friends with somebody who's involved in the production. I don't care either way who gets cast. Just make a good movie. Make a good movie with good performances. It could be anybody. It could be a female doctor. It could be an Arabic, Indian, Aladdin, whatever. Just make a good movie, please, people.
Yeah.
God, the last time I saw Will Smith in movies for that one suck at movie that I completely blocked my memory of.
Oh, which?
Oh, that one where he met death and all them people.
God. Collateral Beauty. Oof.
That thing. Ugh.
Yeah. Oh, and we also remember when he played the devil in that Winter's Tale movie. With his giant CG mouth that he used in the one scene. I will say to his credit, Will Smith was maybe one of the single best things of Suicide Squad. So,
oh yeah, easily.
Yeah, he can sometimes carry a movie.
Yeah, that news is pretty good that they at least found some newcomers and stuff that fit within their mold, but probably won't piss too many people off. So that's kind of nice.
Yeah. So, from there, I mean, there's a few tidbits of pre-Comic-Con and D23 news. So we knew that John Lasseter was going to be directing Toy Story 4. Mm-hmm. Well, not anymore. Apparently he's stepping back, and the guy replacing him is a guy named Josh Cooley, who his only major credit before now is directing the short Inside Out film they made, Riley's First Date. Have you guys saw that one?
Yeah. Remember it.
What'd you think of that one?
That short, man, I don't remember. Did we see that short, or did we see another short? Because Riley's First Date, that was at the front.
Was that the front of anything, or?
Was that the front of anything, or was that on the DVD?
I thought we saw it, but maybe I am wrong. I'm not sure.
I don't think we did.
I mean, from what I heard it's all right. So I guess this is them trying to do what they did with Toy Story 3. It's okay, we get one of our other guys, our up-and-comers to, hand the reins over and see what they can do. So, we'll see what happens with there. In other news with that, there's another yet-to-be-named Pixar movie that's coming out that's supposedly a suburban fantasy world. And, I mean, We know very little about it other than Dan Scallon, who directed Monsters University, is going to be in charge of that. Which, I didn't dislike that movie. I kind of like that movie, but we'll see what happens with that. They also mentioned that The Incredibles 2 will literally begin moments after the first movie. So.
Okay.
I mean, and I was kind of hoping they do more of a future thing where it's like, oh yeah, we show what, Dash looks like 10 years down the line or whatever, but
right.
I guess whatever,
We're also gonna watch it anyway.
Yeah, I'm just happy they're making it. I don't care what. Just give us more Incredibles, man. And then, of course, because Lin-Manuel Miranda literally sticks his hands in everything nowadays, he's confirmed his involvement in the Little Mermaid remake, so he's going to help score the movie with Alan Menken, the original composer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and apparently, among many things, this is a dream come true for him, because some people are just lucky. God loves them for a little while, who just give them everything they wanted. And Alan Menken's apparently one of his composing idols. Like, oh, this is the guy who inspired me to be in music and that's such. So I'm like, all right, sure. He's our golden boy for the day.
Well, touched by God, maybe he made a deal. Maybe he made a deal with an undersea witch in exchange for.
I wonder what he gave up to get that career, though.
I don't know. What do you give up to get a musical career? Like, she gave up her voice or whatever to get true love. Maybe he had to give up his true love or something, like the reverse.
That'd be weird.
Yeah, I'll find more girls when I'm rich and famous.
Sorry, honey. You heard the sea witch.
You know what's most. We agreed to this when we got married. It was in the prenup. You knew it was coming.
Oh man! I mean, to be fair, I'm happy for him. I actually discovered him before he became really famous because of his first film his first musical In the Heights. I know, but this is actually true. I saw a production of it in Utah, and if you haven't seen In the Heights and you liked Hamilton, buy the soundtrack or just find it on Spotify. It is totally worth listening. Really, really good music. On that note, just following through with some other news, are you guys aware of who Andy Muschietti is?
I'm unfamiliar.
Okay.
No clue.
For those who don't know, Andy Muschietti, I think it's Andreas or his first name, but he is starting to become an up-and-coming, a big-name director. He was the guy who directed Mama back in the day. That little horror film, 2013, I think? The one with Jamie Lannister and Jessica Chastain, where they find those kids in the woods.
Shit, yeah. I don't think I watched it, but I think I thought I saw something about it.
Okay. It's a pretty good horror movie. Like, it's not great, but it was a solid first step for this guy. And apparently that first step has led him to do pretty much everything now, because he's in charge of the new It movie.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that's his big debut after what's-his-name from True Detective left the project. And the first big announcement is that it is going to be a 2-part movie. So, because there was the big story going around that, Cary Fukunaga wanted to make this into 2 films to cover both the early childhood story and then the adult story. And that was apparently a big sticking point with the studio, but apparently they're finding a way to do it as 2 films. And that's going to start filming this next year, I believe. And then also, one of the weirdest, why is he being involved with this? He's going to do a movie adaptation of Robotech.
Robotech?
Yeah, of all things, where I'm like, wait a minute, so you get this guy who's doing a bunch of horror films to direct Robotech.
I mean, I guess Robotech could scare some people, especially if you were watching it late night in the 90s and you were like, maybe it took a little bit too much acid and was just like, oh my god, all the colors. I'm not saying that's how I watched Robotech, but
no.
Yeah, no, but I mean, Robotech is great. I'm just glad they're making a Robotech thing, but we'll see. It's not like that's never happened before. You take somebody you least expect and they make a good movie out of it, but
true.
And then the last thing with him, this one I'm a little slightly sad about, but there's the Lock and Key TV series that's coming out. You guys heard about that one?
Right. The ABC.
The one that's that's always been coming out for the last 10 years that has been in the works.
Well, here's the thing, because there's the failed pilot, which apparently everyone said was great, but it just never got picked up. And then they decided to try again and say, okay, we're going to do it proper. We have a series order, and Scott Derrickson was going to be in charge of that one. And I don't know why. I don't know the full story how, but he is no longer going to be directing the pilot, and Andy Muschietti's taking the job. So this guy's just everywhere right now.
Okay,
What the hell?
Who did he sell his soul to? Because I want their
Fucking
number.
Faustian bargain. What the shit is this?
I guess it must be amazing because everyone's just like, oh, we're gonna get him in this project and this project and this project.
I think they're just getting it confused. Like maybe this guy's done some other stuff. Oh, he's working on the It movie. Oh man, I love It Follows. Man, I love It Comes at Night. He's just people just think he's in 3 times the movies.
Yeah, maybe.
He's been made in the 3 times the movies that he's actually
I love
made.
the IT crowd. That's what that's about, right?
The IT crowd.
Oh man, no. So good for him. I'm just surprised that he showed up in like 3 stories this week. So
Yeah.
But moving on from there, I'm just trying to go as fast as I can. There's a Queen biopic coming out called Bohemian Rhapsody, which
I'm very interested in.
oh yeah, I love Queen. I think they're one of my favorite music groups, and there's a lot of history about them, and there was actually a lot of controversy because originally Sacha Baron Cohen was going to play Freddie Mercury, and he butt heads with the studio and with the Queen estate because he wanted the dark and greedy version of it, and they kind of wanted a more typical kind of biopic, and they won clearly because he's no longer involved. But now Bryan Singer is going to direct it, of all people.
Oh.
So, Bryan Singer's got hit and miss with non-X-Men projects. And hit and miss with X-Men projects, but,
Right.
He's more of a hit and miss director, really.
Yeah, but when he hits well. I mean, Usual Suspects is still great. He directed, 3 of the best X-Men movies, not including Apocalypse. And,
Right, but he also
what?
did that.
Oh, yes, he also did that, too.
I think a biopic could work for him. I think he does better when he narrows his focus a little bit.
True.
Yeah, but the weirdest thing is the guy that got to play Freddie Mercury now is Rami Malek from Mr. Robot.
Really? You know what? I can see that.
I mean, I can see it. I can't picture his voice because Rami Malek's got that weird kind of deep throated thing like this.
Well, I can't imagine him singing, but they could always dub that in, like they do that sometimes.
Yeah, they're gonna have to. I mean, I just Mama.
Well, I wouldn't want to impersonate Freddie Mercury anyway.
Yeah,
That'd be a pain in the ass. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, no one can mimic Freddie Mercury's voice. He just had one of those iconic, distinct pipes. It's just. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. It sounds exciting. And then a few other things. So, the Game of Thrones guys, D.B. Benioff and David Weiss, maybe other way around.
Yes.
Well, D.B. Weiss and David Benioff, yeah. They just announced their new project. So, they're sticking with HBO because they've been good to them. And
Makes sense.
Apparently it's a revisionist war drama called Confederate, which imagines a third American Civil War, as if the American Civil War had ended differently and they still remain separate states.
Okay.
So, I mean, we don't know much about it just yet, but I'm intrigued. It seems very different than what they usually do, because these are the guys who have mostly worked with Game of Thrones, and then I remember them back when they wrote Troy, if you remember that film from back in the day.
They wrote Troy?
Yeah, they wrote Troy, which when you see the way that that's written and you see how Game of Thrones is written, it makes perfect sense. You're like, oh yeah, they're big, grandiose monologues and profound statements kind of thing. Troy tried and didn't work as well at that, but...
Yeah. I was gonna say, now that I hear the dialogue in Troy, I'm like, yeah, I guess that does make sense. I'm glad that they actually had time to, flesh out some of those characters and make those scenes make more sense in a show, But that's really cool. I'm excited for Confederates as well. I actually think that would be an interesting idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like it has potential. And hey, they've had a decent track record with TV, so we'll see what happens. A few more quick news. John Watts, who directed Spider-Man Homecoming, and to great success, I thought. I loved Spider-Man Homecoming. He's in talk to return for the sequel. So, I think that'd be good.
That's good.
He clearly really, really likes this project, so I'm sure he doesn't want to he wants to stay as close to it as possible.
Right.
Makes sense. Disney usually likes to keep people on for at least one sequel.
Yeah, if you turn a profit for them and get good word of mouth, they're usually pretty dependable on that. But Walton Goggins is joining Ant-Man and the Wasp, which yay.
Now this I'm fucking excited about.
Oh yeah, I love Walton Goggins. Like that dude.
Right?
He's got a distinct look. He's got great timing. He's dramatic and funny. And as much as I'm hesitant to be excited for Ant-Man and the Wasp, because I didn't really like the first Ant-Man movie, maybe they learned their lesson. Maybe they can improve upon a few of the things I wasn't crazy about. I mean, I don't know. Did you guys like Ant-Man?
I did. I could definitely tell that this was an Edgar Rice script that got adapted.
Oh yeah, no, they Frankensteined it like crazy. Apparently,
There are some things that I'm not super nuts about. Like, I'm sick of killing our villains at the end. Like, and I'm like, come on, the Ant-Man movie's supposed to be more fun. We don't have to watch a guy get combusted inwards, you know? But for the most part, I really like the heist aspect of it. I thought that was pretty fun. I like the Michael Pena as the side character. I think maybe the Russian guy might have been a little over top.
A little bit.
Just slightly over top. I think he might have been overplaying his hand.
Well, he is coming back too for the next movie, so.
Yeah.
Can't help it, winners.
That actor is actually a super interesting guy, by the way. The guy that plays him. Yeah, he was also in The Dark Knight.
Yep.
He has a lot of crazy stories. I heard him on the Kevin Smith's podcast. He's a very interesting guy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No, so I mean, this is cool news. I mean, they announced a few other people like Randall Park who are joining it too. So here's hoping that they can get a good cast to support it.
I'm not too worried about it. I think they can, scrape together some good stuff. I don't think any of the Marvel movies have been straight out bad yet.
I argue a little bit, but yeah, they haven't been terrible. I think it's just a degree of if they meet expectations or don't. But also, you remember when Dominic Fortune was supposed to get his own TV show back in the day for Marvel?
Yeah, whatever ended up happening with that?
Well, so for those who don't know, I think it's the show called Marvel's Most Wanted. That was supposed to be a spin-off with What's that main villain? I mean, main hero's name who was supposed to be the lead in that?
Wasn't it the Marvel's Most Wanted was supposed to be Mockingbird and her boyfriend?
Something Blood, right? Nick Blood.
Nick Blood is the actor. I think the character is Hunter, Jason Hunter.
Yeah, so there's supposed to be that, and Dominic Fortune was supposed to be kind of their cohort or whatever that they work with in the show, and that fell through. So that was kind of a bummer. But apparently, a new story going around is that he will be featured in the Black Cat and Silver Sable movie that they're making.
Oh, yay, step up.
I know. Yeah, they announced a bunch of new people, too, that I have no idea who they are. I'm like, Mark Sim? I mean, I know I should be aware of what that is, but Dominic Fortune, when I saw that, I'm like, okay, so clearly there's some conversation between Sony and Marvel about how to handle certain aspects, and I suspect maybe that's partly why they killed Marvel's Most Wanted, because they knew they had some deals in the pipeline.
I guess.
Maybe. I have no proof. I can't prove that, but... It was sad, though, because I remember, I think they were getting Delroy Lindo or something like that to play Dominic Fortune in the original. So, I'm just curious if they're going to go that route or just pick someone totally different now. We'll see. Taron Egerton is going to play Elton John in a biopic also, just speaking of musical biopics. So,
Taron Egerton? Really?
Yeah, from Kingsman.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, now I can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And apparently...
It took me a half second. Yeah. It took me a half second, but now I got it.
Yeah, and actually it was supposed to be Tom Hardy, but I guess they decided last minute, we want someone a little younger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's fun. I like Taron Egerton. I'm happy that he's kind of in this, up-and-coming young actor thing.
Yeah. I like him a lot.
Yeah, and then a couple things. They want to make a Mega Man movie, which... I'm not sure that's a good idea, and I'm even more worried because the guys involved are Henry Joost and Ariel Schulman, and if you don't know those names, they worked on Catfish way back in the day, if you remember that film.
Oh. Yeah.
And Paranormal Activity 3 and 4.
No.
So great track record there.
Yeah, that doesn't strike me as a sign of, quality film, but to be fair, I thought Catfish was fine. Is
it going to be animated or live action?
They're not clear on that. I suspect animated, because why would you make a live-action Mega Man film? But
you say that.
Yeah, to be fair, I say that, but they did make a live-action Mario movie, and we all know how that turned out.
That movie was amazing.
Oh, man. I finally saw that for the first time this year, and that is the experience of watching, a movie on crack. You're not even high when you're watching it. It's just
you just feel high.
Yeah.
It's contact high.
So many sparks. There are so many sparks in this movie.
You just have to trust the fungus. You just have to trust the fungus.
You're probably still high for whatever the people making that were high off of. It's just a really good contact high.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so 2 more sad stories and then a kind of a fun light story. There were a couple of big deaths this week, and very, very sad.
Yep.
Martin Landau, who, for those who don't know, I mean, he's a very, long time working actor. Worked on a lot of stuff. He was in the original Mission Impossible series way back in the day. But most people these days would probably remember him from Ed Wood. Have you guys seen that film?
I haven't.
Yeah, the Tim Burton film, correct?
Yes, so it was the one about, the legendary horrible director, Ed Wood, played by Johnny Depp.
Yes.
In one of his better movies, to be fair, too. And it's probably Tim Burton's very best film. And part of the reason, Martin Landau plays Bela Lugosi, and he nails it. Like, absolutely perfect. Just, oh man, I can watch that movie over and over just to watch his scenes. And he's so good. And he had a lot of great movies, but yeah, he finally passed away at age 89. So he lived a long life. So, good on you, man. And then the other big death, which happened literally like an hour or two right before Martin Landau's, George Romero.
Yep, our master of the dead himself had to slip into his brethren, waiting brethren, I guess.
Yeah,
that was very sad. Because he was a guy who really left a legacy.
Yeah, no, he innovated the genre. He created the zombie genre as we know it today. It would not exist without Night of the Living Dead. Yeah,
and I might have been crazier about his later output, but man, you got to give it up to him for setting that up and basically, creating the rules to a whole movie universe that we all adhere to now.
Yep, absolutely. So, it's his legacy that's important. And then, one last news story that I thought was just kind of fun. So, Disney announced at D23 a lot of theme park stuff. They're gonna have a Marvel land, they're gonna have a Star Wars land, they just meaning that the Galaxy's Edge is what the Star Wars place is called. But the craziest story that I saw, you might have seen this too, so they're gonna do these hotels based on Star Wars and Marvel. The Star Wars one's gonna be in Florida, and the Marvel one's gonna be in Paris. But they're gonna be Westworld styled, where they're gonna have actors in it who will, play characters set in this kind of environment that you can interact with as the guests in the hotel.
Okay, I want to go to that super bad.
Oh,
now, which
too.
one do you want to go to more?
I don't know. Would you Westworld? Yeah, I want to do Westworld.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying.
No, it's Westworld style. It's not...
if you can't tell me they're not going to be doing a cowboy land at some point, right?
Fair.
Oh, I'm sure.
Disney has a cowboy property of some kind.
No, but apparently even the Star Wars one, if I heard correctly, depending on your allegiance, you can assign yourself as either being Imperial or Rebel Alliance in that case, and they'll treat you differently based on that. So
okay, that one's my decision then. if I can do Imperial and I can do the March thing, then that's mine.
Because you just call everyone else Rebel Scum the whole entire time.
Rebel Scum. Where are you going?
Okay,
I bet you that's a drink at the bar.
Rebel Scum.
I'll take 2 Rebel Scums and a shot of Scum and Villainy.
I'm excited. I've never actually been to Disney World in Florida, so this might be the reason to go. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I have been twice, 3 times if you count in the womb, which I do. I felt the teacups. Come on, but yeah, it was a really fun time before they added in a lot of this stuff. I haven't been in 10 years, so I would actually like to do a revisit at some point if money and time allows.
Yep. And otherwise, that's probably the most important stuff for this week. So there you go.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Justin, for running through the news for us. We're going to take a small musical break.
I do have one that... you
got one?
There's another death today. It was not so much in our purview, but we could mention it anyway.
Yeah.
Chester Bennington died.
Oh, right.
Supposedly of suicide earlier today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so the singer of Linkin Park.
Yeah,
What's with singers killing themselves this year? Because didn't we lose Chris Cornell also?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, geez.
Well, singers tend to have substance abuse problems and...
Yeah, I was gonna be maybe they got this there's just a really bad suicidal batch of heroin or something going around, but that is sad, man. That's I don't know why all death is sad.
Yeah.
When I hear someone takes their own life, I don't know. It makes me even sadder.
Right. I think there's something to prevent that.
Yeah, man, that just sucks. I am, for all the fans and his family members and stuff, nothing but sympathy. So that's a real rough thing to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
I love how Justin tried to end us on a happier note. You just
I
drag us right back down.
I already got criticized by Chris Cox for doing depressing stories, and I almost got it. Where it's just a happy story.
Yeah, hey, maybe this one I'll figure it out. Well, we're going to take a small musical break. We're going to go into some of our interviews and some of our con coverage, and we're going to be back with Trailer Talk in a little bit. We'll be back right after this.
Close both locks below the window. Close both blinds and turn away. Sometimes solutions aren't so simple. Sometimes goodbye is the only way out, and the sun will set for you.
Question. Mark Hamill Joker. Okay, it's a hard voice, but for you, I'll give it a shot. Do it. Oh, it's Batman. Man, this panel's going so well. It's actually kind of funny. Gotta work up to it. Thank you. I can also do Jared Leto as a Joker because this is different. It's just like. Way to work it, Jared. Sounds like that should be a whole afternoon. Not a fan.
Oh, and this is Nick here at Kitsune Kon. My God, I'm so glad to be back here. One of my favorite conventions, and I'm here with one of my hopefully new favorite artists. I'm here with.
My name's Jess, and I'm with Barry Blitz Studio.
Now, Barry Blitz. I like it. It sounds like some sort of app I would play on my phone. And your designs are cute enough to where that said app could have those designs on it. I like it. Could you describe a little bit for the listeners at home what you got here?
Well, I like to say that I do cute and colorful vector art that's totally sweet. I like to do a lot of animal puns and food with faces. You know, everybody.
I saw the killer whale down there.
Yeah, a lot of my animal puns are aquatic based. So I've got the Your Killer Whale and the Just Krillax Whale and cute stuff like that.
I do like it. I think I'm looking at one right now, which is the mint chip, but it's a snail.
They are ice cream snails. I'm sort of workshopping a name for them. Right now I'm going with Scooty Scoops.
Scooty Scoops.
Not just ice cream, but like any sort of frozen treat, like Italian ice or anything like that. It's a new project this year, so I'm having a lot of fun.
That sounds that sounds like an adorable ice cream treat, and the gastric bypass disorder you'd have afterwards. Oh, I got the Scooty Scoops so bad. Oh, but no, they look adorable, and I see the Miyazaki, I see Totoro, I see Ghostbusters. I think my favorite one though was I see the Gengar family up there, the Ghastly them. What was the tagline of that one? It was
We're up all night to get spooky.
Up all night to get spooky. I like that. I like that a lot. So how is your Kitsune Kon treating you so far?
That's all right. I actually haven't been back here in probably 4 years.
Oh, so, that's a long time.
Yeah.
That was back before they moved, I think.
Last time I was here, we were at the hotel in Appleton. I was in the mood lighting section where everyone else was in the bright lights. So it was. I just haven't been able to come back with life things and whatever. So it's nice to be back again.
Well, as a Kitsune Kon, regular, welcome back. Glad to have you. So you're kind of an island here, at the booth and stuff, but I'm sure you've seen some cosplays, pretty cool cosplays walk on by. What's the coolest thing you've seen at the con so far?
Oh, goodness. I'm always on the lookout for, the Adventure Zone cosplayers because it's such a niche podcast that I'm just so excited to see, especially with an audio medium, it's interesting to see how people interpret characters like that. So it's not like an obvious... here is the character model, here's how you have to dress. It's this person happens to be an elf wizard, and that's all we've got. So let's make it up how we want. And I think that's super cool.
Yeah, I always think that someone is always cosplaying as Carlos from Welcome to Night Vale, but it's actually just a guy I'm really attracted to.
There's a lot of those.
There's dang it, no, it's just, I always imagine my ideal man. Carlos, you elusive man. But yeah, so you've been to previous conventions, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
You've been anything previous this year?
Yes. Well, let's see. Where are you guys based out of? Because that'll help me.
We're based off of Wisconsin. We're actually local. Green Bay. We live 5 minutes away.
Well, that's fantastic. I'm from Madison, so I usually do like GeekCon, no brand.
We're going to GeekCon this year, baby.
Same. GeekCon is my home con, so I live like 10 minutes from there. So what else have I done this year? I was at ASEN. I was at Indie PopCon last weekend in Indianapolis. I've only got a couple more left this year. I'm actually taking a personal hiatus, take some time for myself, because I've been doing this for 6 years straight.
I'm tired just listening to you, so I would take that personal hiatus.
Yeah, I do about 12 conventions a year, plus a full-time job. So I'm personally in need of a little bit of a step back, but not really going anywhere, just kind of sticking it online more than anything, so...
Sure. Well, it sounds like a lovely thing here. Now, before we let you go, do you have a website, Etsy page, anything like that, so that people can check out this adorable art for themselves?
I actually have all of my stuff linked at barryblitzstudio.com. It just links to my Tumblr, but all of my social media is listed right there. Etsy, Twitter, Instagram. I think I'm opening everything. If it's online something, I've got it. So you can find me just about everywhere. I'm most active on Facebook. Come chat with me there. I like talking to fans. Please talk to me. I'm lonely.
Well, I will let you get back to your Barry Blitzkrieg or something like that with your fans that you're assaulting. But it was an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for interviewing with us. Have a great day and a great rest of your con.
You as well.
This is Nick getting some more art interviews here at Kitsune Kon. Man, I love this place. I love this dark, dank dungeon they always stick us in. It's like we're about to murder and just get rid of a lot of bodies in this freaking concrete room. But
something in body pillows.
See, I need that. That's why I need my custom Helsing body pillow to get rid of my to get rid of my corpses.
Yeah, that's what that's for.
That's absolutely that's fantastic. And who am I speaking with, committing and cleaning up crimes with?
We are Toothsome Talents, composed of Shane, Sheridan, and
Maddie.
Great. I'm sorry. What was the name again?
Shane.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant the name of the.
Toothsome Talents. We're the Toothsome. Yep.
Toothsome. I love that. That's hilarious. I like that. But yeah, so I was looking at your booth. You got a lot of really cute stuff here at your booth. You got a very distinct, different styles. Who is the congratulations banner here? Like that, I see that.
That one's
that's
me.
you.
Yeah, that's
okay,
me.
And so that makes you probably the more kind of darker.
I'm the very anime looking one.
Whatever that guy is, the guy that looks like he wants to kill me and then do weird things with my corpse.
Yeah, that's me.
That's
yeah.
also you.
That would be Dezel from Tales of Systeria.
So this one here, that's going to be my featured nightmares for this next week. And this cute thing are both you?
Yes.
You got a lot going on up there, my friend.
Yeah, and then there's all the stuff on the far right here.
So
all that stuff is theirs right here.
So that's you on the far right.
Yep, and then Junkrat. Yeah, and the Digimon one right up there is theirs as well.
You guys got some really good range here. I looking here, I thought okay, well, this is one person, this is other, but you got a lot of crossover I didn't even think. So that's really cool. So what, for the listeners at home, I see Digimon, I see some other great stuff. I see Overwatch, obviously, very popular, I assume. So yeah, what has been the most interest you've had at this con in particular? Has anything been striking people's fancy in particular?
Yeah, I have a series of pride pins featuring the evolutions from the Pokemon series, and the asexual pride flag Espeon has been selling like crazy.
Espeon!
Yeah. And then you've been getting a good few commissions, right?
Yeah, I've gotten a couple commissions, and my Digimon pins have been doing really well, too.
I suppose that's because there's a lot of Digimon voice actors.
Digimon voice actors here. I wonder, that's not shocking.
Almost like I planned it.
It's almost like...
I did see a whole group of evolution cosplayers around. Did you see the group of those?
Yeah.
Those were some pretty impressive cosplays. Not think since you're kind of an island here, I mean, you can't walk around and see a lot of the cool costumes and stuff. But cool costumes come to you. What's the coolest thing you've seen so far at the con?
That Vaporeon with the bubbles.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there was a Vaporeon with a bubble gun, and that was really cool.
Oh, like the thing, so it would actually shoot bubbles?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And they were like bacon flavored.
bacon-flavored bubble bean.
Yeah, they were like for dogs or something, but it was really interesting. And
I want to get hit with a bacon-flavored bubble bean.
True.
No lie.
True story.
No lie.
And then there was a character from the series Tales of Zestiria named Edna, and you don't really get cosplayers from that series a whole lot, so I was really hyped to see it, because it's like, you know, there's a series that's kind of niche, and you don't really know very many people that are into it in the Midwest, and then suddenly you see that one-off cosplay, and then you just totally go nuts, and it's great. So made sure to get some photos of that.
So that one cosplay, like, you know the thing that I like. Let me trap you in a conversation for a half hour. How about you?
There was a dude in a Gomamon onesie that was really well done.
Ooh.
And
I think I saw that guy. I thought he just killed like another cosplayer and took the Gulimon skin off of him.
Ooh, that's more Gabumon's thing, but yeah, pretty much.
Because that's what it always looked like to me, because he had the thing half on. Like, it was just like, it wasn't fully on yet. So I was just like, it looked like more like a trophy that he was wearing. And I was just like, ugh.
Coached it. There was also an 11 earlier that had like the nosebleed, and I wanted to get a picture, but...
Oh, from Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Very cool. I love that show. So yeah, what's your favorite thing to actually draw then, for either you? Like your favorite fandom or anything like that?
Well, as far as like fandom goes, the Tales series and Pokemon are pretty much my top two staples as far as that's concerned, but
is it just design-wise, or is it a nostalgia factor?
Design-wise. It's definitely not a nostalgia thing for me, especially since I'm so still avidly into it. Like, I still actively play all the main series games and the spin-offs and everything, so I'm like really into that. And then original content also is something that we really are working on. As a matter of fact, me and this one here are going to be working on a series of like man-eating plants, like characters that we're going to be like kind of like a cutesy, creepy, kawaii type thing that we're kind of working on, and that's going to be really exciting. And then we both have pet projects as in the form of comics that we're going to be working on over the next year, and that's going to be really fun. So
love that. Hopefully I can follow you guys and give you a read. How about you? What's your favorite thing?
Digimon is always like, when I don't know what to draw, I just draw Impmon, because that's how I've been since I was like 8 years old. So otherwise, the Junkers are really fun to draw, and otherwise there's the team of superheroes that nobody's ever heard about from DC Comics called the Elite that I obsess over. Yes! Yeah. Somebody knows them!
Those douchebags.
Yes. Manchester's my favorite character, so I draw him constantly.
Yeah, no, Superman had to set him straight. I actually like that series.
You should read the Justice League Elite. It's really good. It comes afterwards. And it features Virulin Black, Chester's sister, doing like Black Ops Justice League stuff. It's super cool.
I like Justice League and I like Black Ops, so I'm going to give that a look. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to interview me. It's an absolute pleasure meeting you. Before we let you go, can you guys want to pimp your pages and stuff, like where people can find your art, Etsy, Facebook, anything like that?
Our website is toothsometalents.weebly.com. So, yeah, we can also give you a business card afterwards so that you can put it up on the description of the podcast and whatnot.
We'll absolutely do that.
We also have a Facebook page for it.
Yeah, it's Facebook/toothsometalents, no spaces. So, yeah, that was pretty...
Sounds very easy to find. Well, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your con.
You too.
This is Nick with the UGO podcast, still here in this cold concrete dungeon of a room at the artist booth here. And here, fittingly, I'm here with a couple of inmate cosplayers, actually. So I feel like that's fitting. And I'm here with...
Danny.
And?
Bailey.
And you are cosplayed as some of the characters from Orange is the New Black. You have Nichols and Voss, that's right. I always forget the ones there. I always remember them by their stereotypes rather than their names. But no, that's fantastic. Also, you're here with your lovely art booth with some really great, cool stuff here. Would you like to let the people know exactly what is available here?
Sure, I've got some drawstring backpacks and some pencil pouches. I've got Mystic Messenger sweatshirts and Yuri on Ice shirts.
I like the Yuri on Ice, that's for sure. How about you?
I have my anthropomorphic art, I have some knitted and fleece hats, and I have some beaded stuff as well.
I like the bead stuff they do too. Like, I see, like, is that some sort of like a cozy that you got there?
These are cuffs. So they
they're cuffs. Oh, okay. Like a Wonder Woman bracelet. Like, I love it. Oh, very cool. I like the hats, too. I'm going to sneak away with one of these hats at some point. I mean, I'll pay for it and everything, but I do want to pay for it and sneak away in the hat. Kind of like, because it looks like one of those things that, if I was in a spy movie, I'd take that and put it on my head so, to get away. But yeah, some great stuff you got here. What was some of the inspiration besides some of these the bead stuff?
A lot of the bead stuff. I like Pokemon and I like rave culture and stuff like that. So when I see these patterns online, I was inspired to make some of this stuff so that people would want to buy that. The art, I've always been interested in animals, so I love drawing anthropomorphic stuff, and it's my niche when it comes to drawing. And I've been knitting for most of my life, so I like to, yeah.
Came natural. Okay, yeah. Very cool. I think it definitely shows that you put a lot of hours of work into it because it looks really cool. Also, I wanted to ask, since you're kind of an island here, I know that you can't see go out and see as much of the con, but some cool, people and cosplayers and stuff have walked across by. Have you seen anything really neat and interesting?
Oh, yeah, I've seen a lot of nice fursuits, and I've seen a lot of good Overwatch players. There's been a few tracers that I really enjoyed seeing.
Yeah, Tracer's pretty popular. I've seen a couple really cool ones.
She's one of my favorites. There's just a lot of really good cosplays around here. You can tell a lot of people put work into it.
Yeah, I can definitely tell that this is one of the bigger cons, so when you get to the bigger types, you get a little more competitive with the people that come for their cosplays. I feel like they try and outdo each other a little bit.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any Reapers yet, but I think it's only a matter of time for all these Overwatch people. Did you see one?
Yeah.
Okay, that's one of the ones I always rarely see. At one con, I actually saw a Reinhardt pop in.
Oh,
yeah.
I saw one at C2E2.
Yeah, and they had to take it. They had to take the thing apart in segments so he can get in through the door to the main convention center. It was crazy how big that guy was. But yeah, your drawstring bags. I love the patterns on the drawstring bags. You got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We got Captain America comics. Are these from classic comics from this sort of thing?
Yeah.
That's from a specific issue, or is that just sort of thing?
I don't know a specific issue. I think it's just a mash of all of the characters
from
the original
yeah.
comics.
That looks like old 60s promotions, actually, if I had to guess.
Yeah, probably.
That's really cool. I really like the older stuff like that, the older looks. So what's the inspiration behind the drawstring bags? Just
one of my friends mentioned that he always has trouble finding bags to wear on his back, because a lot of times for when you're wearing cosplay at cons, you don't want to have something in front of you or at your side because it blocks the cosplay. Mm-hmm. So if you just have the drawstring bag, it's just the black string over your shoulder. So on your back, it's pretty hidden. You can carry stuff around the con, keep a purse on you.
I love it. You know what? Not only cute, but practical. I absolutely love it. Well, for the listeners at home, if they want to also get some practical, lovely stuff, where can they go to find and just, check out your stuff?
We are on Etsy. Our shop is called Corgi Butt Crafts, and you can contact us for custom orders at corgibuttcraftsandcosplay@gmail.com. All one word, no hyphens or anything.
And that's for both of you?
Yep.
Oh, okay, cool. Corgi Butt Craft. There's a butt joke in there somewhere. Something about dogs and anal or something.
We're just the butt of the joke.
That's it. We're gonna go out on that. Yes. Oh, I love puns. Thank you so much for interviewing with me. Have a great day and a great rest of your con. This is Nick with the UGO podcast. Still getting here's interview late night now on Saturday at Kitsune Kon, and I'm here with
Derek Stephen Prince.
And for those listening, you'd probably recognize his voice from many great works. I'm more familiar with your stuff from Bleach, Udio specifically, but you're also Shino and Naruto and many other things. You do many voices for Digimon. I believe Impmon. Piedmon's one of my favorites. Yep. I like that.
Let's see. Season 1, I was Piedmon, Digitamamon, and Demi-Devimon. Season 2, I was Vmon, X-Vmon, Demi-Vmon, Pyldramon, Pyldramon, Imperial Dramon, and of course the Digimon Emperor. Season 3, I was Impmon and Beelzemon. Season 4, I was Grumblemon. Season 5, I was Jeremy and Zailzamon. And for those of you who watched the Digimon movie, I played a very small but important role of the pizza guy.
The pizza guy. Hey, don't knock the pizza guy.
Right.
He was bringing food to the Digidestins. That's an important role, I feel like. The world hangs in the balance on his pizza delivery. But no, that's great. I've been lucky enough to catch some of your panels at this con, which were really fun. I caught your Jeopardy one, and I just came from your 18-plus Pick a Card, I believe it was called, right? The Pick a Card one, wow, that was something. I'll tell you what. I'd be nervous giving that much power to the audience, along with a microphone.
Yeah.
But, would you like to describe a little bit about how that one works?
Well, without giving away too much, because
It's a mystery.
yes, any of you who are able to come to a convention in the future will have the opportunity to see this. But basically, it's kind of like a card game where people get to ask, any question that they normally wouldn't be able to ask in a regular panel during the daytime. It's totally uncensored. Could be something personal, could be something about the work that I've done. That's part of it. The other part is me doing some special reading, which I like to call Digimon and Friends, where somebody can pick a character that I've done in the past and I get to read as that character. But what material I read, that is something that you guys would have to come to the panel to find out.
And again, no spoilers, but as someone who's just experienced it, wow, it is a fun time and definitely worth your time if you plan it out. Especially, there were visual aids, there were multiple examples, there was even dog noises at some point. It was crazy. I had a blast. But yeah. So do you do a lot of conventions? Like, this is your first time in Wisconsin, correct?
First time in Wisconsin, yep.
Okay, but you've done conventions all over.
Oh, sure.
So what are some of the normal places you hit up?
I don't have a normal place.
Really?
I wish I was one of those actors that gets invited back every year. I'd love to be that kind of actor.
Do you just get the call and just go?
Yeah, well, I do a lot of my own marketing, and so I hit up a lot of conventions and say, hey,
okay.
If you're interested, I'd be happy to come to your convention this year. And that's pretty much how it's been so far. Whether that changes or not in the future, I guess we'll find out.
Sure. Well, no, that's important too. I've so really think about on the guest aspect, how that whole thing works. The business end of it.
Yeah.
All I just know is that you guys show up, and then I try and get interviews with you. That's the only thing I know from it. But yeah, it's fantastic. How is Kitsune Kon treating you?
Fantastic. I mean, the people here are wonderful. The person who's helping me out has been amazing. And you guys have just been a great group of people. I mean, it's not a huge convention. It's like a medium/small size convention. But the support that all of us have been getting so far in terms of going to either autograph sessions or going to panels, I've been extremely happy with the convention in terms of the turnout for everything. So, yeah.
I agree. I like this convention. And I might be biased. It's my hometown.
Okay.
It's my favorite one.
Okay.
It's my fave.
Yeah.
So have you learned anything from your panels, at this convention specifically? Have you learned anything new about, running panels?
Yes. Actually, wish I could talk more about it, but I can't. But, what I tried this evening for the 18 Plus panel is a little bit different than what I've done in the past. Mm-hmm. And I was almost thinking of doing something a little bit different than what I did tonight, but I think the way that it went was actually really good, and it had a nice mix of, answering people's questions as well as doing some reading, and I think I might just stick with that.
Yeah, I actually kind of like it too. I've been to both where it's just the panel, just straight script reads of stuff, and then I've been to panels which are just straight Q&As, 18 plus, and this was definitely interesting because there's that tension element of is he going to answer this question? Is he? Right. But no one loses because even if you don't answer the question.
Exactly. Yeah. And I like that. I like that a lot. And somebody actually gave me that suggestion, and I was going, I don't know, but it worked.
No, I thought it went really well. I might steal it from you, just so you know.
All right.
I look forward to the lawsuit, but yeah. So I assume that you interact with your fans on a quite often basis, not just here.
Yes.
Are there any fan interactions that stick out in your mind in particular, maybe at this con or anything previous?
Fan directions?
Or interactions?
Oh,
or anything
well,
like that?
yeah. So the way that I normally communicate with my fans is if you are not already a part of it, go to Facebook. You can type my name, which is Derek Stephen Prince, DEREK, Stephen, STEPHEN, Prince, PRINCE, dash voice actor. If you search for that in Facebook, you will find me. And if you just like the page, then basically you're going to be kept abreast of everything that I'm either currently doing or things that I am able to talk about that are planned for the future. Or tell you about another convention that I might be going to. And sometimes people just ask random questions, and, I'll answer them. And it's fun. I try and interact with people in a sense, because what I've just started doing this year is that because of a lot of fans know the broad scope of the work that I do, I have enlisted their help at the beginning of the year so that every single month I have a different picture for the fan page picture. So it could be Shino one month, or it could be Impmon another month, or it could be whoever. And so they've actually submitted pictures to me that I can use, that I can put up, and it just gives people a nice feeling to know that some of the stuff that they suggested gets selected.
Yeah.
And
that's nice. That's direct, like a direct interaction.
Oh yeah,
that's really nice.
Yeah. And so I mean that's pretty much the way that I interact with most people.
I love that, and I love to be kept abreast of stuff.
Yeah.
Or just using the term abreast. I feel like that's not used enough anymore.
Yes.
But speaking of which, I want to go see if I can keep abreast of somebody else in particular.
Okay. All right.
Anyway, it's been a pleasure talking with you.
Oh, thank you.
I can tell I could talk to you for hours. But we'll cut it short here. All right, and we are back with some trailer talk. I hope you enjoyed some of those interviews and stuff. Our coverage of Kitsune Kon. It was a great time getting that stuff. So yeah, we are ready to do that good trailer talk shit. Are you ready, Travis?
I'm ready.
You ready? Well, I do have a surprise for you.
Oh God.
Yeah, because Justin, you're ready as well. I assume.
I was born ready.
Yeah, because we have a special thing, because I was not able to get an interview with the great Steve Blum, voice of Tom, from Toonami, and Spike from Cowboy Bebop, and just the man of 1,000 voices,
right? That all sound like Steve Blum.
He holds the Guinness Book of World Records for being the most prolific voice actor in video games, I think.
Mm-hmm. Is he really?
So I wasn't able to get an interview with him, but I'm sorry, what's that, Justin?
I was saying, is he really? Because it feels like Jennifer Hale and Grey DeLisle get a lot of work too. But
yeah, I think he still holds the record, but I think there are a couple people gaining steam on him. Mm-hmm. But I did manage to get in the line to get a couple autographs from him, and I got a little recording, which I'm going to try and make our new intro to the trailer talk here.
Okay.
If I can mix into the music and stuff. I don't think Justin will be able to hear this, but I think Travis can get it, or maybe I can. Here, I'm going to unlock the audio right now, so maybe Justin can hear it over the mics as well.
Yo, Tom from Toonami here. You're listening to the UGO podcast, and I hope y'all are ready, because Trailer Talk starts now.
Oh, it's so amazing.
How fucking rad is that?
That's amazing.
It sounds exactly like fucking Tom. What?
I love it.
Awesome.
I'm gonna find some music to mix that to, and that's our new fucking...
No, it's gotta be.
That's our new fucking intro, man, because that is great. He did a thing for the AA Battery Girls.
Yeah.
That were also, we also met with them. He did a thing for their channel as Grunt. So that was pretty funny.
Oh, that's awesome.
Ashley does a pretty good Grunt impression, too. They were trying to out-grunt each other.
I don't want to hear that. That sounds hilarious.
I didn't record that.
You should have.
You had to pay for your recording. I don't think they might have gotten a little mad.
I love grunts.
I was sorely tempted, though. But yeah, with that intro out of the way, like let's get into the trailers. First up, Travis, you a fan of the Texas Chainsaw movies?
Not really.
Have you seen one of them?
I saw the first one.
Do you mean the remake or the first one? First one.
The one that came out when we were in high school.
That's the remake.
Well.
The first one is credited as being one of their, like, it was like a banned film at the time, being super violent. You watch it now and there's like hardly any blood.
Yeah, well, that changes over time. We know
it's still
that.
an intense fucking movie though. Like, it's all implied.
There's some gory stuff in that movie. I mean, even without the blood, there's some frightening images.
But yeah, they did the remake, and I'm not sure how controversial it is, but I kind of like the remake. With Jessica Biel and shitty actor, what's his name, Eric Balfour, the guy with the shitty Irish accent we saw in Backcountry.
Yeah.
And he's in Skyline. Like, that guy has not been good in anything. I'm sorry, but he is. I'm glad that he dies he's like one of the first ones to die in the remake.
But if you're listening to the podcast, give us a like on Twitter.
That happens.
That happens more than you think it does.
Exactly.
Every time we bash somebody terribly, it's always like. I'm like, are you a masochist? I don't understand.
We haven't even gotten a like from Janet Varney or the JV Club, and we no, that's not true. I think we have gotten a like from them. My bad. And we just love them. But yeah, when we talk shit about
The House at the End of Time, that was my favorite one.
But yeah, after a very underwhelming sequel, Texas Chainsaw 3D, apparently they're back with a remake, reboot or something, or origin story.
Remake.
It's a reboot, origin, reimagining. I don't know, something like that.
Just add some R words to it. It'll hit.
I'm excited already.
Yep.
It's called Leatherface.
Lovely.
So let's give that a watch.
And of course, it's a Red Band trailer because it'd be a really boring trailer otherwise.
A creepy song.
Oh god, it's a cow. And she fell through?
Wait, he's got a cow head on?
Oh.
And directors of Inside, the video game?
Because Leatherface, I get it.
Now go on now, pick it up.
Happy birthday, here's a chainsaw.
Steven Dorff. Oh, this movie is gonna suck.
It's photographed nicely. Oh,
what? Why?
that
was just the beginning.
I think that might be the actual word.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it begins.
Oh.
So is everyone just killing everybody?
You know that thing where there's no blood in the original movie? Yeah, screw that.
Subtlety. The fuck is that? Alright, so that was the trailer for Leatherface. Yeah.
Are trailers supposed to make me want to watch the movie?
You know, that wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it would be.
It could have been worse. There's some early indicators that this movie is going to be a little bit weird.
Like Steven Dorff.
Like Steven Dorff is a big red flag for me of just like, oh shit, I'm in trouble.
Yes, shit indeed.
No offense, Steven Dorff, but I even think you're a good actor, but man, but he can't pick a project to save his fucking life. Yeah, I thought he was the villain to begin with, like the sheriff, but then he's it looks like Leatherface he's fighting him later in the trailer.
I don't know. It seemed less like a horror movie in this trailer, more like an action, like a bloody action film, to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, it is a massacre, so.
Yeah. But it seemed like it's a lot of people killing a lot of people.
Happy birthday, here's a chainsaw. I love that moment of just like, hey, look at this chainsaw. I'm like, that chainsaw is as big as him. Yeah. What is he gonna fucking do with that? And then he's wearing a cow's head because, get it, Leatherface? That's interesting.
And at one point, it looked like the chainsaw was like driving itself at one point across the floor. That was crazy.
I don't know what. I feel like he was wearing that. He would just be called Cowface, to be honest.
Maybe the twist will be that the chainsaw has possessed him from the start. Into the chainsaw that's evil.
Dude, Evil Dead style, man. You just gotta do it. Leatherface with a chainsaw hand.
Yes.
That'd make a better movie.
Versus Ash from the Evil Dead.
Oh.
I feel like that's happened in a comic book. I don't know why, but I feel like that's had to have happened at some point. Yeah, Justin, what'd you feel on it?
Oh, like I mentioned, because I've seen this trailer already, but I don't really care much about Texas Chainsaw, because the first one I liked it a lot, and I respect its importance. I don't love it like everyone else does, apparently, but, and the problem is, it's just, its name has been tarnished so badly by so many terrible sequels, and, that last one they did, Texas Chainsaw 3D, was just a huge pile, but having said that, at least the trailer for this shows slightly more promise. It's got
they put effort into it.
Yeah, they got some good cinematography. They clearly are trying to use as much practical gore effect as possible. And from what I've heard, the guys who directed this, they did that Inside movie. That's a pretty messed up horror film, from what I've heard. So if they can translate that messed upness into this without feeling exploitive or nasty, like overly nasty, maybe it might work. It could be moderately good.
Yeah, I guess it's not hopeless. Out of all the Chainsaw movies, sequels, and everything, I've liked like 2 of them. So I feel like the number game is not with them statistically. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what the critics say. But yeah, should we move on to our next one?
Yeah, what's next?
How about A Wrinkle in Time?
All right.
Have you guys, either of you read the book A Wrinkle in Time?
I read half of it and I put it down. Because it's not that it's bad, I just couldn't follow it. I was too young, I think.
I think I tried reading it at one point too, and I never got really all the way through. But
the name sounds familiar, but I don't think I ever read it.
Yeah, anyway, we got a new teaser trailer for it. Let me bring it up here real quick. It looks like it's got Oprah in it, in a very interesting outfit. So let's give that a watch.
We are here.
All right, here we go.
For a reason. What if we are a part of something truly divine?
The Los Angeles Lakers game.
91 billion light years traveled like that.
Captain Kirk!
Yeah, of course Kirk is talking about space travel.
Yeah, stunt casting.
Your father has accomplished something.
Oh, gosh.
Extraordinary.
Not your Eurythmics, guys.
Oh, fuck you!
He's trapped by a
I just heard it. Damn it.
It's actively spreading throughout the
How many
universe.
freaking covers do you have to do with that song?
And the only one who can stop it is you.
I'll try.
Get it, 'cause it's a sweet dream now.
Trust nothing.
I don't know what's going on.
Stepford Wives.
The only thing faster than light.
We will build a better one. I have no idea what happened in that trailer.
Yeah, no.
I got nothing off of that.
Like, maybe if I read the book, I'd have some idea what just fucking watch.
Alright, well, we'll try talking about it anyway.
Good luck with that. I'm
So,
here for
fun
you.
fact though, the person directing this is Ava DuVernay, who did Selma. And she was originally supposed to do Black Panther for Disney and Marvel, but that fell through, so they gave her this as consolation.
Wow. I'm not sure if that's an insult or not yet.
Okay, so, yeah, I really don't understand, like, I guess it's kind of like this chosen one narrative of, like, finding the warrior to save the world or the universe or whatever the hell it is.
It's basically, from what I remember the book, there's some kind of, like, parallel dimension, time travel kind of storyline where Chris Pine, I'm assuming it's her dad, I mean, they did some race swapping for the characters in this stuff, but he gets lost in one of these alternate timelines or parallel dimensions, and they have to go find him, and that's why there's all this surrealist stuff going on in there.
So they could meet Captain Kirk in a parallel universe on his way there. That could be neat.
Dad? Dude, they need to do
What?
like
No, I've had no children.
Every one of Chris Pine's characters should show up. You know, he's going to be the guy from Steve Trevor. He's going to be Captain Kirk.
Prince Charming.
Ooh, yes.
Okay, so let's talk about Oprah Winfrey for a minute.
Let's talk about that.
Okay, I only want to talk about this one scene right here. The as Justin put
The Avatar.
The Avatar.
She is the master of airbending.
Or Apocalypse.
As Justin put in Apocalypse. I saw one great one from Jason Murphy from Modern Rogues. He tweeted out this exact picture of her with the tornadoes and stuff behind her, or I guess clouds just behind her or whatever, and he was just like, "Bitch, this isn't even my final form."
Yeah, I saw that.
And I retweeted that because I'm like, that is fucking great.
So what if she turned into Golden Oprah?
Yeah.
My question is...
Resurrection O.
My question is, did Storm ever look like that?
Did Storm ever look like that particular?
Yeah.
No.
No?
She had a punk rock look at one point with a mohawk, and even that didn't look as ridiculous as this. But yeah, it's definitely very interesting visually.
It's colorful, yeah.
But we've seen movies that are very interesting visually that have just been boring and just don't narratively make sense.
Yeah.
Jupiter Ascending.
It's a low-up movie, though.
That's still one of my favorite theater-going experiences, because me and my buddies, we laughed our butts off throughout that movie.
The movie was hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
Still favorite line is, I love dogs.
I will create life!
And I destroy it.
That's Eddie Redmayne's anti-Oscar role.
Oh, that's right. It was like the same year, like, this guy won an Oscar. Wow.
Yep.
Oh. But yeah, anyway, this one, I don't know. This seems like, I mean, I can like complex narratives and like very in-depth stuff, but I feel like this movie, like even when we get the trailer that's supposed to explain more of the story, I'm still going to be lost.
Yeah. I feel like let's go watch Arrival instead.
I don't feel like the story translates very well to film. Like, based on what I understand for this and the later sequels, it seems it's way too esoteric a narrative for them to translate. Now they're just trying to pump it up with blockbuster stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they got a good cast behind it. They got a lot of big names.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even see half those people in the trailer. Did you see Zach Galifianakis in that?
He was for like a half second.
Was
I
he?
thought, is that Zach Galifianakis with that beard? And then he was gone. And I was just like, oh, I guess that might not have been him.
I guess I blinked.
Then we saw the name later, and I was like, oh, okay.
He's lost a lot of weight working on baskets, I guess, so.
Yeah. Well, yeah, other than just some trippy visuals and stuff, I really have nothing else left to say about it.
I'd have to see another trailer to see if I'm really interested.
Should we move on to what's probably going to be our last one? I mean, I did want to cover The Shape of Water, but we're running a little bit long. Maybe we'll save that for next week. Because I really wanted to talk about The Disaster Artist.
Okay.
So, Travis, have you still not yet seen The Room? Have you?
I haven't seen this.
You have not. Or have you seen The Room, the thing it's based off of?
No.
Okay, we got to sit down and have you watch The Room at one point.
Okay.
You know what?
Which one's The Room?
It's. Hey, I did not.
The
hit
Room is
her.
the one that will not win
Okay.
Oscars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I got it.
I like how I don't even. I just have to quote the movie and you know what it is.
I got it.
We'll do a whole vlog on it. We'll like record our reactions because I want to like see what your things are. For those who don't know, The Room is a fascinatingly bad movie by Tommy Wiseau. The Disaster Artist is a film made by James Franco and his buddy Seth Rogen, I think, is also involved. They are very fascinated by The Room and decided to make a movie based off of there's actually a novel as well that's called damn it,
The Disaster Artist.
Yeah, is it called the same thing? Yes. Anyway, yeah, Tommy Wiseau has gone across country to promote the film.
Begrudgingly.
There's screening things. Well, it's hard to tell because it's like apparently he just doesn't think it's that bad of a film. Like he went out to make a good film, and he's kind of mad that it's become this like campy cult thing. I mean, people dress up in tuxedos to throw footballs around. People cosplay for this movie when they go see it. It's a phenomenon. But with that, let's check out the Disaster Artist for a minute here. Let's give that a watch.
Ready? And action.
Yes, for those people who don't know, that was all green screen.
What line? I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark. Okay. Action.
What is the line?
Apparently, this actually happened. This whole
Take
scene.
13.
I believe it.
Action.
I did not hit her. Okay. Line.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark. Take 67. Action.
Oh, gosh.
I hit her.
No. You want to change the law?
No.
You're doing great, man. We'll get there.
Action. Action. Action.
You have to
Action.
say out loud. I can't hear it in here. Say action so I can hear her.
Okay.
His accent's slipping a little.
Action.
Yeah.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Yay! So yeah, that was that was it. That's all you get.
Okay.
So it's a softball trailer. They know what people want to see, so it's like, okay, here's a little bit, and then we'll get into really juicy stuff in the main movie.
Yeah, and so for those who don't know, that was based off of a true story that actually happened on set. I know you're thinking that the way he delivers that line in the movie, they just went with the first take and stuck with it, like they just didn't care. But no, that took forever, and that's as good as it got.
That's depressing.
Yeah. Apparently this book is full of stories like that, where you're like, wait, what just happened? And it was all written by that guy that Dave Franco's playing, Greg Sestero. So,
yeah,
first-hand account.
And I see all the usual suspects for a Seth Rogen production. I see Dave Franco as well. I see some of his other regulars for actors on the set there. I do like me a good Seth Rogen comedy. I think he makes me laugh. That's maybe I got a stoner sense of humor, but he more often than not does get me to giggle. I'm questionable on his recent work on Preacher, but I find this movie, The Room, very fascinating. I get why it's got this cult thing. You'll watch it and you'll become entranced of just like, what was the decision making behind this? Like what went into that? Like what happened with this thing? Like why does he say that dialogue? Why does he balk like a chicken, but instead he chirps?
Why are there 7-minute long sex scenes in multiple sequences?
Yes. You're a chicken. Cheep, 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 cheep. Cheep, 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 cheep.
I am fed up with this world.
I am fed up with this world.
Ugh.
You're tearing me apart, Lisa. Okay, we gotta stop.
We could go on and on about that disaster.
It is...
I just don't know if I want to watch it.
I'm going to tell you, having just watched it the first time this year, you're better off not knowing, to be honest.
Great sell right there. Great sell.
You'll go back and forth. You'll go like, I don't think I can watch this anymore. But then you can't stop. Like you can't stop watching it. It is.
You're gonna force me to watch it anyway.
It's just.
I think
we could make it a Netflix and kill because someone does die in it.
Yeah.
But it's not Netflix.
I mean, I can't even. Like with some movies, I can even, but this one I can't even. It's. But yeah,
but this movie looks kind of promising, I think.
Yeah, the only thing that makes me nervous is that James Franco's accent seems to be going in and out intermittently.
Yeah, which, I mean, I hear from people who saw this at South by Southwest that he's apparently out. I mean, I don't know how accurate it is. They say that he really embodies Tommy Wiseau. So maybe we're just seeing one version of this that maybe he'll like embody it a little bit more in other scenes. But
could be.
Yeah, no, because some people are saying this was like the best movie that festival. So,
well, I'd be very interested in seeing that and seeing how that turns out.
Oh yeah, and one little fact: the guys who write this movie, because it's not James Franco or Seth Rogen writing it. The guys are Scott Neustadter and Michael H. Weber. And for those who don't know who those are, they wrote, among other things, The Spectacular Now, The End of the Tour, and 500 Days of Summer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they got a bit of a track record going on.
Yeah. I'm very interested to see this movie. I've never read the book. I've just never had time to sit down and read the book, but I always wanted to, just because I find it so fascinating what the production must have been like in this movie.
Right.
I can't wait to see the staff and crew trying to put up with Tommy Wiseau. I feel like that must have been a hell unto itself. But with that, I think we can wrap up the trailer talk for this episode.
All right.
We're gonna go back into our some of our con coverage. We're gonna get back into that, and we'll be back at the very end for a little bit of wrap up and just to say goodbye to all you lovely listeners. We'll be back with that right after this.
Oh, hi, Mark.
No, let's get down the wire here. We're actually going to do another audio challenge if I can get up here. Yeah, where did it end up? I had it right here.
You could just not do the sound thing.
You have to sing it.
I actually could know the name of that song. I actually know the lyrics of that song.
Do it.
Give it a go. Do you guys want me to do it?
Do it.
Okay. Alright, and actually with the little top hat. Hello, baby, hello, my honey, hello, my right-time girl. Send me a kiss by wire. Baby, cause my heart's on fire. If you refuse me, baby, you lose me. And you'll end up all alone, cause baby, telephone, and baby, I'm your own. Thank you. Was that helpful in the guest department at all?
I know what it is, I don't know its name.
You don't know his name?
It's a frog.
It is a frog.
Anyway, this is Nick with the UGO podcast. We're back here, still at Kitsune Kon, getting a couple more interviews before I head out of here and just crash so hard. But I'm rallying, and I'm here with a repeat offender.
Alizarin Crimson.
And a longtime listener.
Amethyst Dawn.
I should say long time. Like I say a listener. I don't know how long time it is, but
Been quite a while. Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
So she knows what it's all about, and she still wants to interview with me. That's great. But yes, that's fantastic. And of course, you got your booth here for I believe it comes from nothing. Comes from nothing.
Starts from nothing.
Starts from nothing. Dang it. Comes from I don't know. I guess my mind's still in the dirty area from the 18 plus panels. But yeah, you're sewing and the materials here. I see Warbler. I see sewing. I see just a shit ton of glue, crazy glue over there.
Oh, the glue.
So yeah, what else do you have available for the people listening at home?
Well, I also carry Flex Bond, which is going to be a sealer for Warbler, so it kind of helps when you want to prime and paint all of your fun stuff that you just made. Mm-hmm. I also have some fun leather, lambskin leather. It feels very nice, smells very nice, makes beautiful things. And I also have coordinating notions. So I have like the thread, the needles, all that kind of fun, exciting stuff. New this year, I also have a fabric material called cold black technology. So I have
Sounds sexy.
Oh, it is very sexy. It is a 4-way stretch fabric. It's treated with cold black technology. So what that means is usually when you wear something black, you get hot as hell because it absorbs the heat and absorbs everything. With this technology, it actually deflects the light, or deflects. Basically, it makes it bounce off rather than absorbs. And you actually stay about 10 degrees cooler, and and it's got UV protection as well.
What wizardry is this?
I don't know, but it's fantastic.
Okay, I don't know if it's the Slytherin that's making me think that you're casting some sort of witchcraft, but I'm calling shenanigans. But no, that sounds fantastic. How's this con treating you, Kitsune Kon? Because I think last time we met was Dice Show, correct?
Correct.
Yes. So how is Kitsune Kon treating you?
Honestly, I don't know because I haven't been at my booth very much this week.
I know because I saw you in the thing. You're a guest cosplay artist, correct?
Yep. So all day yesterday, I was doing the cosplay judging. I think I had maybe like a half hour to come here, panic, and then go back to the cosplay competition and finish that out. So I have had the most lovely booth helpers this weekend. So they've been selling all of my stuff.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love having a backup crew. It's basically been me, myself at this con, and it's been hard.
And I.
Yes, and they're all jerks.
Damn bastards.
I hate hanging with them. Anyway, so was that your first time cosplay judging, or have you done it before?
I judged for the first time in 2015, and it was actually for Kitsune Kon as well. So
really? Okay.
I was very happy to be back. I'm a terrible speaker, so I'm always nervous on stage. I'm usually the one with the stupid shit-eating grin, and I'm like, hi! I don't know what to say.
Your forte is judging people in silence?
Yes,
I can
judge
rock with
harshly
that. Yeah.
in silence. You don't know I'm judging you.
You
but
crush dreams, too.
So,
I am a crusher of dreams.
See, I actually missed the cosplay contest, unfortunately. I had a panel.
What the hell?
Yeah, I know.
What the hell?
I had a panel to prepare for, and I was super sick. So, but what were some of the highlights from the cosplay contest?
There's a lot of people that put like really good effort. Like the one that we chose for Best in Show was a warrior-based Vaporeon, and it was kind of hard to see on stage, but like underneath like the big armor were these scales that she cut out of foam and like preformed. So what was really nice is that she layered it in a way that if she needed to bend or move, she had movement. It wasn't very stiff.
Oh.
And like after continuous wear, it kind of like flipped up and kind of added to the overall effect. And it was just really nice.
That sounds very intricate.
Oh yeah, it was very well put together. There's also a couple other people, like for my judge's choice, it was Pokemon. It was Umbreon and Sylveon. Yes, I always mix them all up. It was the black and the pinkish purple one. They did some beautiful corsetry work. So it was really exciting.
It sounds exciting.
Yeah.
So was it that was the Best in Show, correct?
The Vaporeon was. Then the Umbreon and Sylveon was my judge's choice.
Okay.
And then there was a couple people we ended up like bumping to a different category because we're like, no, you deserve to be in this category and win something there. So it was exciting.
I like it. Last minute adjustment, like no, we gotta get them some sort of recognition.
Right. Because I mean, there's like some people just to put this hard work. Like I think it was the winner for Masters did some Yuri on Ice. I can't think what the hell the name was. The young, really fun one.
Yeah.
But like she hand glued on all those Swarovski crystals on her top and the tie and the shirt. They're like all hand glued on, and we're like, girl, that's awesome.
Oh, nice.
See, that's what I like from my judges is a good girl.
I know, a little ghetto in there, but it's all right.
That's how we roll.
That's how we roll.
I think the Olympics should be judged that way.
Right?
Girl, that dismount was off the chain.
Yes.
You shot put like a motherfucker. But
everybody would watch the Olympics if it was more like that.
I would. I mean, I think that's $1 million idea, but what do I know?
Maybe probably want a little bit more family friendly. They probably don't want to put the effort in to bleep every like swear word out because that would be like mother bleep 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 bleep
I think people would watch it.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think we should get 50 Cent to narrate the next Olympics. I think that's
Snoop Dogg
or Snoop.
I mean, his animal one that he narrated was pretty funny. But anyways, we digress.
Yeah.
Yes. But anyway, last time I talked to you were talking about It Comes From Nothing. You were talking about opening a physical location, a store.
Yes, those plans have to be put on hold for a little while.
Oh, it's such a shame.
It's because my husband is going to school, and I really want to help support that. So
that's good.
I'm going to try and actually be more smart about this than like just launch into something unknown and take a big risk. So I'm going to play it smart, kind of get a good following first, like through the convention scene, get my name out there so it's more recognizable, so people like are know that I'm there, because it's kind of a big risk to just say, hey, I'm in Green Bay and I sell cosplay stuff, because people are like, eh? Because it's Green Bay. Like, the running joke for the longest time for Green Bay has been, if you can sell it in Green Bay, you can sell it anywhere. Like, we are like the biggest test market because it's so conservative. So it's kind of, one of those things you gotta be careful about.
Yeah. Well, that's smart. I totally get the networking thing, so that's pretty cool. So what have you seen? You've been at the booth, correct?
I've been at the booth. I've been the one that everybody else helping has been sending to with Warbler questions.
Yeah, I sell this stuff, but I actually haven't had a chance to personally use it, so I'm like, Dawn, answer all these questions. So I'm just the pretty face that gets the stuff.
Yeah, and every time somebody's had a question, I'm sitting here explaining it, and it's like, that's where actually the group that we put together just after Kitsune Kon last year has really helped a lot, because we're noticing people are a little afraid of some of the materials in the area. So that's actually been really informative, because now we're going, okay, we should get some classes in town going so people understand the materials, which is going to benefit the business, but also help the community grow and get people together, because they don't know how to use it. So they're a little afraid of the Warbler because they don't know how. A YouTube video is one thing, but you kind of want to see somebody do it in front of you. They want to see, how do I know when it's really ready to glue together? How do I know? It's like, you can watch it on YouTube, but you're spending money on these sheets, and it's like, well, what if I goof up? And you're afraid.
Very expensive.
You're afraid of the goof ups. And technically, you can't goof ups too bad, but people are afraid of the investment. So it's like, okay, well, I'm trying to kind of talk through it, and it's only so much you're willing to spend, especially when you have to, for the most part, order this stuff online until now. So it's been kind of a good little learning curve for everybody, and we've had a lot of people. I had quite a bit of people come to the meetup last night to kind of talk through some cosplays that they're planning, some pretty adventurous ones, and I'm like, well, here's a realistic expectation for that if you don't know what you're doing, but
So I'm going to create a life-size Gundam.
Yeah.
So I'm going to need that help.
I'll help you through it. Just kind of give me an idea what you're planning to do, and I'll try to talk you through it as best I can. But
what was the name of the group?
It's our group on Facebook is the Green Bay and then / Fox Valley Cosplay and Costuming Guild, and it's not limited to just cosplay, because we have SVA people, we have people do historical reenactments on there, we have people that have never costumed anything before that are joining, trying to learn some information and have questions. We have photographers on there that will do photo shoots. We have all sorts of different levels, skill levels, and the goal is to get people together that want to learn, share their ideas, have questions, maybe have things they want to teach. And on Wednesdays, if I remember what day of the week it is, I'll make a post in the morning. I have 3 jobs, so it happens.
No, yeah, I get it. I totally get it.
In the morning, I'll say, "What are you working on this Wednesday?" Well, and people share what are they working on, and oh, hey, I'm doing this. I'm not quite sure where to go with this, and we'll share photos and talk about it. And we want to get more things going, and maybe do a panel at some conventions on so you want to cosplay, just basic suggestions. Never judging people, because that's not our place. This is not a group to be judgmental.
If I can make a suggestion?
Yeah.
So if the panel's going to be called "So You Want to Cosplay,"
or something like that. It's just some idea. Something not judgy is really we're looking.
Well, then I would place the "So" with the SEW.
Yeah.
Pun titles, they'll get them in there.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
I know.
But
I like a good pun. My friends don't. I do.
I do.
Well, you must. You listen to this podcast.
I
know. But it's been an absolute pleasure talking with you guys again. Again, you want to hit up the anywhere where people can find you, your Facebook, web pages, anything like that.
Well, I have several. So you can either find me at Crimson Star Emporium for my design side, or you can find me on It Starts From Nothing. I have both Instagram and Facebook. What the hell is all this shit? I don't know.
The same thing.
I'm running on no energy and food, so I'm like,
how about you then the Facebook group? What was it? One more time?
The Facebook group is the Green Bay Fox Valley Cosplay and Costuming Guild. And then I'm under Amethyst Dawn everywhere. Mm-hmm. And then for my profile pic for the next month or two will probably be the Cheryl Tunt I did yesterday. So,
which was great, by the way. I love it.
We're hoping
or was it Carol? I don't know.
Cheryl, Carol,
Crystal,
Charlene, whatever.
We're hoping to get a big Archer cosplay going for Dice Show.
We're doing Archer Vice specifically, apparently.
Yes. It's Vice.
That's what we decided.
Is that what the gray suit's from
yes. That's the coked up Pam era.
All the pinstripe suits and porn mustaches. Yes,
okay.
Archer Vice.
I'm going to try and do Mallory. We'll see how that goes.
I'd join you, but I know I'd have to be Ray.
For sure.
Well, honey, I think I could do it.
No fun.
It's going to be a real smackaroonie of a cosplay. Anyway, thank you again so much. Enjoy your rest of your day and the rest of your con.
You too.
This is Nick with the UGO podcast here, getting some more interviews at Kitsune Kon, and man, I am having so much fun because I get to talk with these special people just like these. I'm here with...
My name's Bianca.
And...
Alyssa.
And...
Cassandra.
Cassandra? Oh my god, that's my favorite character from Dragon Age. You don't have the scar, but I think you're just as good looking. Mm-hmm. Yes. But anyway, yes, I'm here to talk with you about your art booth/booths and stuff. What's the company name that you guys are with?
I am Harley Pool Designs. You are...
I'm Bees, Beads, and Baubles.
And you are...
Vixie Zilla, plush and stuff.
Plush and stuff. I love it. But yeah, you guys got kind of like sharing kind of like a booth going on. So that's pretty cool, like collaborations. Do that a lot of cons?
Yep. Her and I have, we both do parlors, but we do very different styles. Like I do a lot of video games. She does more general nerd stuff and sci-fi stuff. So we complement each other really well because we're never stepping on toes. And then her plush just add another element to stuff. It's a really good draw into the booth because we're like, pet the plush. They're super soft because they're all minky.
I suppose we should mention what you guys all have available because I saw Prince over there, and I saw plushies, and that was probably your stuff, judging from the name, the plush and stuff. So I'm guessing the plush, and I'm not sure where the stuff comes in, but that's definitely got to be...
I also do cosplay, and any type of print or art is also what I would do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I scribble.
Oh, you scribble. You make everything sound adorable. Plush and stuff, you scribble. I mean, that's just so cute. What do you enjoy scribbling?
Pokemon.
Pokemon, that's your thing?
Ladies.
That's your jam?
Ladies with big boobies.
Okay.
A lot of big booby art.
Okay.
A lot of fan art. I've been doing a lot of Steven Universe lately. Pokemon, of course.
Steven Universe, that's popular.
I also want to get into Overwatch.
Mm-hmm.
I want to start with Junkrat. He's going to be a pain in the butt, but, like, I get smudged.
That crazy guy.
He's one of our favorites.
Yeah, he's the best crazy guy.
I know. I'm just imagining the different faces you can choose from. That's a man of 1,000 different crazy faces.
Most of them involve explosions, or at least something smoking.
I don't think there's one face he makes that doesn't make him look like an insane predator. Like
he's not nearly as bad as Roadhog though, because like Roadhog's voice lines are like creepy serial killer stuff.
I don't think the mask helps. Like everything sounds like he sounds like a sexually deviant Bane.
Yeah.
I think Roadhog is cute and squishy. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Don't listen to all of his voice lines then, because like when I post on Instagram, I always post the ultimate line, and they get creepy.
Okay, except for when playing against him and I get thrown off a bridge or I just immediately die. Otherwise, he's adorable and squishy. I got pulled into a hole like twice when I was playing with Tim. The same hole. It was a bad time.
Anyway, yeah. What do you guys enjoy? Some of the geek properties you enjoy creating for?
I love Overwatch. I make all of the characters. Like as soon as Doomfist went on test servers, we made them.
Okay.
We love doing the different skins. I love a challenge, so anything like that, like doing the different skins or doing different designs and stuff like that, I love doing. She loves doing bigger stuff. Like she's done stuff mounted on canvas and stuff like that, like a huge Elsa, Steeler stuff,
Dragon.
Asriel from Undertale.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, I love the video game talk. I love the video games. Is the Overwatch stuff like moving for you pretty good?
Moving pretty good. I wanted to do some Mass Effect stuff, but I just ran out of time, and I was worried, especially since Andromeda wasn't received as well, that wouldn't be a seller. But I do want to get it up in my shop as soon as possible because I loved Andromeda, and I think people need to give it a little bit more of a chance. Like, yes, it was a little wonky, but it was still very good.
I think that's it's available for some because even just the character designs. I mean, Dragon Age 2 was always considered the worst Dragon Age game, but people still buy Varric stuff, and like I always see cosplays of like Fenris and Isabella and all that good stuff.
Emo McEmo face.
Emo McEmo face. Are you with me that Fenris is like we already have Anders? There's too many emos on the team already.
Too many sad people in Dragon Age 2.
Definitely.
Yeah, like, come on, Varric's like the only ray of sunshine in here.
I still romanced him, but yeah.
Varric is my personal favorite because of his crossbow.
Bianca? Yeah. I do like a man that can work a crossbow. I'm not sure. That's got to be an innuendo, right?
Somewhere in there, yeah.
So a crossbow's like a, yeah.
Probably. I mean, it very, quickly has a shaft-like object coming out of it.
Yeah, something about premature string firing. I don't know. I'll workshop it later. Normally I'm better at that. It's early.
It is very early, and it's the last day, so everyone's kind of dragging.
So
I'm running on 2 hours of sleep, so...
Hey, all right. I'm running on flu medicine and whiskey. Let's do this. But, yeah, so guys are kind of an island, probably man in the booth quite a bit. Have you guys seen anything, crazy coming around the vendor hall at all, though? Some neat stuff?
Life gave us a lemon.
Life gave us a lemon.
There was a guy with a cardboard sign on his chest that said "Life," and he just put a lemon down. And then we gave it to our friends across the way, and guy ate it rind and all.
God damn.
So our lemon gave us a lot of entertainment yesterday.
When life gives you lemons, feed it to a crazy guy that'll eat all of it.
I love the lemon. I'm kind of sad.
Well, and yesterday we parked next to the guy that does the Venusaur armor, and we were able, he needed some help getting into his costume, so we were able to meet him and network with him, and he's very, very kind. Also, we're all part of the Green Bay Fox Valley Costuming Guild. So we've been networking with them, and there's some really cool people in there that do some really amazing stuff.
Is that Alizen Crimson and some of them? Yeah, I was just speaking with them. I think they mentioned that group as well. So that's really cool that you all collaborate like that.
We're starting to get more active and get more people and stuff like that. We're working on trying to teach classes and do monthly meetups where we can all make and network and stuff like that.
What's your next con going to be? Where are you going, guys, next?
We are hoping to do Daisho. We were going to do GeekCon, but it's just a little bit too much of a quick turnaround after Kitsune because it's right in August. But we're definitely going to be at Daisho. Even if we're not vending, we're just going because it's a fun time and staying in the hotel.
Water park, right?
Yep.
Come on. I totally get that. Well, it's been a pleasure talking with you guys. Absolutely fantastic meeting you. Before we let you go, I want to give you a chance to pimp your pages and stuff, anywhere where the guys can find you, the social medias, all that good jazz. Who wants to go first?
Well, I'm at beesbeadsandbaubles.com, and you can find all my links through there for Etsy and Facebook and everything.
I love the name, by the way, the BBs and Bobbles, like BB&B. I love it. Something about bed and breakfast as well. God, I got nothing in me today for the whippy repartee. But how about you?
Pretty much any social media or any site you can find me at Harleypool Designs. It's either Harleypool Designs or Harleypool_ Designs. And we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, Facebook, Etsy, and we're working on getting our own site up too. Oh, and we're also on TikTok.
Okay. I don't know what TikTok is.
It's another, it's like Etsy, but they don't have so much of the marketplace, but their fees are a lot less, and they don't charge customers to buy things. They don't charge any service fees like that, so it's a lot more friendly to consumers and vendors.
And last but not least, but where can we find your plush, and more importantly, your stuff?
Most easily, you can just Google VixieZilla Etsy, and it takes you right to my page. I also have a Facebook page for my shop under VixieZilla. Those are the two easiest ways.
Easiest is always good. I like to consider myself easy, and I think it's working out great. Anyway, we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you so much, guys, for your time. Have a great day and a great rest of your con. This is Nick with the UGO podcast, getting a couple last-minute interviews, and I'm so glad I got this one done because I have been dying to talk with
Reina
and
Nick Izumi.
Oh my God, I'm so glad I got to meet you guys again. Of course, I think you were special because I think you were at my second convention. My first convention I was actually ever invited to as a special guest, which was the first PlatCon, which led me to Nerd and Tie, which was fantastic. Where I met, of course, with Fur and Trey, and of course Nick. Super glad to run into you again. And you are cosplayed as.
I'm currently cosplaying as Rin Tosaka from the Fate franchise.
And it's lovely, by the way. I think it's turning some heads. I definitely appreciate it. And I know that you've probably been busy at this convention as well. You got the booth here running with Rena with your stuff. I see some new prints. I think I was seeing some Young Justice. Did I see some Young Justice over here? Was it these little chibi things? Because I absolutely adore them. I think my favorite one was Kid Flash.
Yeah, I do have them as stickers available now.
Oh, are they stickers? Okay, I might have to get a sticker after this interview is over because I love me some Young Justice. Anything else new that you're excited about?
I have a couple new prints done. I've got a My Hero Academia and a psychological study piece on Alice in Wonderland that hasn't actually been printed, but they're done.
Oh, okay. Well, that's really cool. That sounds very interesting. My Hero Academia. I keep hearing people tell me that. Oh, I'm looking at it right. Oh, Jesus. Hey, thanks. I was worried I wasn't going to have material for my nightmares for the next week, but that's covered. So
They're
that's
available online.
great.
From the Alice collection, yeah, that's...
Did you hear that, listeners? Buy your nightmares online for your convenience. But no, it's actually really cool looking, too. I hear My Hero Academia is something I should watch. I keep hearing that. Like something...
One of the best things from this current season and the last and the last season. It's in its third arc right now, and which is the midpoint of its second season, and it's great.
Oh, so it wouldn't take much for me to catch up.
I caught up with it in one weekend.
Okay.
I hadn't watched any of it till like about 3 weeks ago, and I caught up with all of it in one weekend.
I hear it's like X-Men, but kind of anime, but like everybody's an X-Men.
It's Japanese X-Men.
Japanese, okay.
Yeah, Japanese X-Men, where most of the humans in the world are X-Men.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's Japanese X-Men, I can only imagine what the Morlocks must look like. Oh, God. Those freaks.
The villains are terrifying.
No, you didn't know, but there's a certain bar of attractiveness that you have to meet to be an X-Man. Otherwise, you get slid into the...
Yeah, there's some pretty average Joe guys in this.
I was about to say, I call malarkey on that. I've seen Skin and Husk and a couple of the others.
And Bobby's a character.
Man, do you have to remind me of Husk? No one remembers Husk.
Well, no one remembered Negasonic Teenage Warhead, and she got to be
That is true. Like Negasonic Teenage Warhead, I'm like, that's a made-up name.
You made that up.
I mean, that's funny that they're making up a character for this movie, and then of course I hit the IMDb. I'm like, okay, that's
a
real
character.
We like this name, and we're giving her different powers.
She's literally nothing like the comic, but there she is.
Some writer spent a whole hour making that name. Okay, we should really respect it.
At least.
At least an hour.
You know, to be fair, Fabian Nicieza actually said that he didn't expect Deadpool to take off when they co-created him. When Rob Liefeld gave him the description, his reaction was, "Hey Rob, I've read Teen Titans too," and didn't think it would go anywhere after that. So, like, of the 4 characters introduced in that book, Deadpool wasn't the one who was supposed to take off.
Right. Yeah, but lo and behold. But yeah, I'm definitely going to give My Hero Academia a try, because if it gets the endorsement of the host of Otaku Tonight, well then I gotta.
Formerly Otaku Tonight.
Formerly. I'm sorry.
Otaku Tonight did disband last year.
We're currently Takoyaki Entertainment.
We're with Takoyaki Entertainment, which is a new company.
Oh, it's the new. Okay.
We do. We do more of if the now defunct Otaku Tonight was the Conan O'Brien of anime talk shows.
We're the Ellen.
We're more the Ellen. Yeah, it's a laid back kind of.
A lot of dancing and.
No one wants to see me dance.
No one. Okay.
I do it anyway.
I mean, I kind of.
But no one wants to.
I mean, once, but like.
He's about as good at dancing as Ellen.
I did catch a little bit of Otaku Tonight. To just at least see your setup, because I saw you bring in on the interview. I wasn't sure who did you interview.
Okay, Takoyaki, which is the name of my talk show. We have I had on for our second episode, which is this last Friday. We had Alizarin Crimson, who founded the It Starts From Nothing costume supply shop. And craft supply shop, yeah.
We're looking to get an interview with her as well.
She's a fantastic human being.
Yes.
And I also had Vanessa and Befu from VersionWorks Cosplay, who are 2 very talented people. And Befu's selling some of her wares in the same artist alley with us.
And Vanessa is otherwise a movie director.
Yeah, Vanessa makes some really, really cool movies. Speaking of superheroes, she actually just put out. I'm going to plug her stuff. She just not that long ago, uploaded the first season of her web series, Single Gay Superhero, which is an
Amazing.
extremely funny show. Check that out on
she's
YouTube.
Oxford, Films.
Yeah.
Oxford Comic Film. I gotta try that. You know what? Single gay superhero. I gotta try it.
It's a very funny show.
It sounds. The title is making me laugh. I can only imagine what the actual show is gonna do.
There's some really talented actors. The cinematography is top notch.
It's a lot like the IT crowd meets X-Men.
Yeah, that's a great way of describing it.
The IT crowd shooting laser beams at each other.
Well, it's you have
follows Peanut Butter Girl, and I can't remember the other.
And the Silver Lining. The Silver Lining. He's
Silver Lining.
At one point he can summon umbrellas. That's his power. And at one point he was a sidekick, and he didn't grow up to be that successful of a superhero. But he lives. But he's single. He's gay, and he lives in an apartment with Peanut Butter Girl. And neither of them are very good at getting a date. And neither of them are particularly good superheroes. Peanut Butter Girl sweats peanut butter. That's her power.
Ew.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it's a really fantastic show.
That sounds like a distinctively unattractive trait.
You should see when she goes on the blind date. It's pretty.
Yeah.
That character was based on you.
There was a. I was actually going to be in that show, and scheduling didn't allow me to. But the end product was pretty great anyway. So, Vanessa's a fantastic writer, great director, and the show is so worth your time. So check that out too.
I'm definitely going to check it out. And now I'm just thinking about now I'm getting the minutia. Now I kind of want to know what type of peanut butter she sweats. Like, is it crunchy? Like, it's creamy?
It seems to be creamy. All the scenes, yeah.
Yeah, it's creamy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, mystery solved then. I'm glad. That was going to weigh on my mind. I was going to think about it. I was going to do some analyzing. I was going to watch the series and, zoom in on the Zapruder film. I'm like, I need to figure this out.
It's okay. In My Hero Academia, there's a character who sweats nitroglycerin from his hands.
What?
And he's like the best. He's actually
best fighter.
He's like the most powerful guy in the.
Sure, his punches are
graduating
explosive.
class.
I could see why that guy might be a contender.
He's got a bit of a temper, though. That's his problem.
Well, sure. I mean, no one who sweats nitro. I feel like that's it's such a volatile substance. I think that affects your personality. But yeah, so this is not your first time at Kitsune Kon. How many times have you been?
I went
the last several years.
Yeah, we've been
5 years.
I don't remember how I was.
He's been here the last 5 years.
I've been at every Kitsune Kon.
And I've been at the last 4.
Mm-hmm.
How's this one treating you?
I'm having fun.
Mm-hmm.
I always like Kitsune Kon because this is the con that comes at just that time of the year when I need a reminder of how awesome my friends are. Mm-hmm. And I always run into my awesome friends at this con. So yeah.
We run into a lot of people we don't usually run into here.
Yeah.
It was weird, walking down the aisles. I feel like I know half the people here. It was just
it's a friendly con.
Yeah.
It's a really friendly con.
I even started up a conversation with a guy who thought he knew me. I was just like...
And this convention always has, the single best cosplay contest. I have never seen such difficult competition, and I have yet to actually win an award after how they got.
There's a Dark Crystal. What's that race
she was
you call?
One of the judges.
Skeksis. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a Skeksis here. And that shit was rad.
She was one of the judges. I did win an award once here, but it's since the quality of the cosplay in the area went up.
It's exploded, and the cosplay contest here is honestly half the reason to go. The people who
I recommend checking out the video of it because that Vaporeon is worth price of admission.
She got best in show
and
for
she
good
was
reason.
novice.
Yeah, I'm really glad that this year, last year, we had a panel scheduled against the cosplay contest, and I was like, why even bother? I'm seriously considering just not showing up. But I guess 3 people didn't want to do the cosplay contest and came to see me.
It was another great competition this year. So saw some fantastic costumes on everybody. So
really cool.
It's okay. I got to frighten the audience. We're good.
Yeah, Reina was in her ball gown Godzilla.
Yep. I was dressed up as Godzilla yesterday.
Okay.
I designed a ball gown for a fashion show for a convention that was 2 weeks ago, and I decided to actually wear it to the contest here. It doesn't fit me, but I decided to wear it anyway.
For your more formal city's destructions.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And
No, I get it.
I had a crown made out of destructed military equipment. So it was a crown made of
hilarious.
helicopters.
That's awesome. I love that. Just to get the idea of Godzilla getting so like, you know what? I should really do something with these cities I destroy. I should get really creative. You know, kind of like go through a midlife crisis. Just like I'm just to start.
He's
making knickknacks.
nuclear. It's a half-life crisis.
It's a half-life crisis. What the science pun? Give it up, Nick. Yeah, that's.
And if people decide to actually watch the video of it, that is actually my voice. That is my voice. It is not pre-recorded. I do raise my voice, and everyone in the back of the hall can hear me.
It's scary.
I'm definitely gonna hunt down that video because that sounds amazing. I love it. Well, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm just gonna let you guys pimp, the Nerd and Tie, and of course your art booth is for a last minute here.
Ineffective Carnivore.
Ineffective Carnivore. Yes, always one of my favorite names for art booths. And that's if you're available on Facebook and
It's available through Facebook. It's available through Redbubble and all sorts of places. I tag it everywhere.
Redbubble. Is that what you kids are doing nowadays?
Yeah.
Redbubble. Oh, you kids and your drugs, your designer drugs. Hit me up if
I can afford drugs. They're the ones who give me money.
Hit me up if you have some Redbubble later. Anyway, Nick, how about you?
You can find my stuff at, of course, the Nick Izumi Show, which is at youtube.com/NickIzumi. Also on the Nerd and Tie podcast every other week with Trey and Gen now, and Takoyaki Entertainment. And
website in the works.
Website, which is in the works right now. So, check all those out.
Make sure to check all those up because this guy is funny. That nuclear, that Half-Life Crisis. I'm the funny one on this podcast, Nick. You keep that to yours. Okay? All right? Is it coming on here trying to being funnier than me?
Me on the show.
Yeah, I thought you knew the rules. Don't upstage me. I'm sensitive.
But he is dressed as your queen.
I know. And he's
bow down before
you're already dressed more sexually than me, and now you're one up. Like, okay. But thank you so much.
That thigh-high miniskirt fetish, I am feeling it right now.
Yeah. You know my weakness. I guess we'll just cut off this recording here, because I don't know where to... We're going to let this trail off.
No, just cut the episode of the miniskirt.
Don't find a place to cut it. This all will be like in the bloopers, the outtakes. This is Nick with the UGO podcast, getting some more interviews here at Kitsune Kon before I go home and pass out, I'm planning on. But, I'm here with another repeat offender. I'm here with...
Hi there, my name is Stephen Raffle, a.k.a. Lore from Rain-Arc Rhapsody. That's going to be rain-arc.com.
Oh, getting good at those plugs there. I do like that. I like it. I even like the voice you did there. Like really, like ad radio and Rain-Arc Rhapsody. This Sunday. Anyway,
They say I've got a good face for Prince. Wait.
Why do they have a face for print? That's only my mom that said that. But anyway, we are here. We're at your lovely booth, which I see some people are trying to buy from you right now, live in studio. I feel like I want to narrate this, like a nature documentary. Only I guess they would be the ones hunting you. I don't know how that works.
They are hunting value and savings, right?
My God, you are good at this. Man, I need you at an ad agency. The lion respects the good deals. So how has Kitsune Kon been for you?
Kitsune's been great. I've been doing Kitsune for the last maybe 3 or 4 years now. It's been a great show. I mean, they give us really long hours, which I appreciate. I mean, and granted, I'm tired and exhausted, but I mean, this is great. Get to see a lot of people here. It's a good show. I enjoy it.
Yeah. Speaking of things you've seen here, I know you're kind of an island, but you see any cool cosplays, anything crazy happen around in the vendor hall here?
I really enjoyed this Transformer cosplay I was watching walk by. They never stopped.
Is that you?
Was that you?
That was me.
Well, okay,
What?
Small world, because that was amazing and I loved it. So,
So what character was it?
Cyclonus from Transformers. I was just like, yeah, I'm a huge fan, and you walked by a couple times. I'm like, man, I just want to get can I? I suppose you're not getting back in the costume today, so. But yeah, small world. So
that's fantastic. That's the first time that's ever happened. Of speaking of a cosplayer, like that was me.
It was a really excellent costume, by the way.
So. You should have just yelled at me.
There was people at the table. You were busy. You were getting photos and stuff. So yeah, I figured that worked out. So
you can't just yell Cyclonus at a con. People would have freaked out. You would have taken out another Transformer. We would have had a war between the Decepticons and the Autobots. It wouldn't have been pretty. So I'm glad you didn't make a scene.
Yeah.
But no, that's fantastic. So you've been doing a lot of the conventions I've been hearing. What's some of your next ones coming up?
Oh my God, let's see. I know that I've got DaishoCon coming up in a bit. There's Anime Iowa, which is also coming up soon here. I'm going to be doing San Japan down in Texas, and I know there's a bunch of others. I'm completely blanking at the moment, but I've got a list somewhere, and I'll have to check it twice. But you know.
Okay, I see. Last time you were mentioning you were going to start doing some Overwatch stuff. And I see some of that. I see a Tracer. Is there anything else here, Overwatch?
I've got a Tracer, a Mei, Mercy, Reaper, and Diva. I know that's only a small fraction of the cast, but hey, I'm working on it, you know.
There's only so many hours in the day.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta play some Overwatch.
No, I usually don't get a chance to do that. So I always try, but, you know, I've been painting these characters a lot more than I've gotten to play Overwatch, so, you know.
Well, that's a bummer. Yeah. So are those selling pretty well then?
Yeah, actually people have been super supportive of me. I've always been very flattered, especially at Kitsune Kon. People seem to remember me. I don't know why, but they do. And
a memorable face.
For print or radio or whatever, you know. But yeah, honestly, people have been super nice here, and I appreciate the warmth that everybody's given me, so.
And I appreciate the warmth that you've brought to this interview, because, again, another lovely one. Thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely.
Absolutely pleasure speaking to you again. And just one more time for the listeners, where they can find you at Rain Arc Rhapsody.
Oh, absolutely. If you guys want to see what I do, basically you can find that at rain-arc.com. That'll link to pretty much everything that is me on the internet.
Yes, and you got to at least check out some of this video game stuff, because it's some really cool, like, Mortal Kombat I see, and, you know, and I see every time I come here, I'm like, man, I'm such a big Gargoyles fan. I want that Goliath so much. Oh, Keith David, whisper to me. But,
tell you what, actually, since we've done this a few times, you like Goliath there?
I do.
I'll give him one for free then.
What?
Absolutely.
No way.
Let me just grab it out.
Are you kidding? On the pot? Oh.
Right here.
Steven, I promised myself I wouldn't cry
Here you go.
on these podcasts, but oh my God, that's so fucking cool. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
I'm glad you like it.
I love it. Oh. This is going to go, I'm going to definitely get a picture of this, and I think I even have a scanning thing now for it, so that's going to go right up on the podcast page.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Oh, I love it, and we will meet you back at DaishoCon, but in the meantime, have a great rest of your cons, and much success, my friend.
Yeah, thank you very much as well. You too.
And welcome back. That was our con coverage for Kitsune Kon 2017.
Are we almost done with cons?
It was no. We are never
I love
done with
them,
cons
but
ever.
they're cons.
Mm-hmm.
It's considerably long, you know.
God damn it. We gotta get one more in here. We gotta get one more pun in here.
Constrain yourself.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
I'm
both.
in a constant state of flux.
You guys, God damn it! I can't believe how unconscious. No.
Nick's in inconsiderable pain right now.
Oh, I'm in continence right now.
We have no more listeners left. They're all gone. It's all over. This podcast is done. It's dead. But just in case anyone else is still listening,
all I can say is, Justin, congratulations on that part. Then.
Woo! I am so seething mad right now. I'm just... You
Nick,
go
Nick,
out of your
console
way
yourself,
to
please,
halt and
console
stop
yourself.
me.
I do.
Stop me mid credits with that.
I do.
You're fucking unbelievable. You're both monsters. But anyway, where can you find these monsters? Why, you can find us at unapologeticgeekout.com. Check out some of our great content there. If you want to listen to us on iTunes, you can subscribe. Give us a 5-star review and we read it on the air like we just did this episode. We love those strange, weird reviews. Give us some more of those. Message us on Facebook at Unapologetic Geek Out, or just the UGO podcast. Give us a message there. Give us a like while you're there. Follow us on Instagram. Check out some of our con pictures. They were really fun. And yeah, with that, you can always just give us an email at unapologeticgeekout@gmail.com and mention some cons that you want us to visit or anything that is on your mind, because we'd love to hear from you lovely listeners. Justin, where can the people find you?
Well, if you want to consult me on social media...
God damn it. You are thin ice. You are thin ice,
Okay.
my friend.
Okay, but you can find me on Facebook at Justin Zarian. I'm occasionally on Twitter, usually linked to posts on here for UGO. And you can find me on oneofus.net. I write the notes for the Breakfast Pub. It's $2 a month to subscribe. We can get hours and hours of content with the news podcast. You can hear our movie commentaries. You can hear all kinds of great exclusive content from Chris Cox and all the lovely guests there. And yeah, you can find me on We Are Error as well. They do their video game reviews, and Nick and I occasionally pop on for stuff like their Telltale games, which, as we mentioned, Telltale has a lot of stuff coming out, so hopefully they'll invite us on for a few little discussions here and there.
Yeah, I greatly enjoy our discussions with them. I thought that was always fun, and I'm a subscriber and a fan of oneofus.net. It's definitely worth it. And yeah, as far as that goes, for
Justin,
you guys,
we missed one.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't talk about how the one guy, the YouTuber, wanted conceal and carry. How did we miss that?
Are you just looking up puns right now?
What?
You got your phone out. Are you fucking looking up puns specifically?
Travis, contain yourself, please.
We're done. It's over.
I have my dictionary app.
It's over.
I have my dictionary app over just the word CON.
We'll find the word in there. Anyway, we're Unapologetic Geek Out, and we're out.
I don't apologize for my puns.
You don't. I apologize for nothing.
I concede.